our blood, that's what we're here for. We're all different, it adds more flavor. Take it to the stage and hear the crowds roar. Our history we'll always remember. The good, the bad, we'll never surrender. Making our mother and motherland proud. Using our voices and saying it loud. Celebrate who you are. Your stories will take you far. Celebrate what you do. 'Cause here it's all about empowering you. Come join the celebration. This is ImprovisAsian. Let's make more connections. This is ImprovisAsian. Come join the celebration. This is ImprovisAsian. Let's make more connections. This is ImprovisAsian. This is ImprovisAsian.
Hello, hello, hello. Magandang gabi. Heto na nga, no? Welcome back, everyone, to the second day of ImprovisAsian Festival. We have a lot of exciting things in store for you today. From a group feature on ICB, thrilling improv performances, our first duo roulette, and marami pang iba, many more. But of course, today, we kick off tonight's day 2 of the festival by diving into this panel. It raised a lot of intrigue online because of its very real and relatable nature. Today, we confront the experience of colonial mentality, how that affects us when we perform with our colonizers or former colonizers, and how we can take steps into healing from such a consciousness. And remember, you can check out our workshops at improvisationfestival.com. Yesterday, we also had our first panel asking the question, what is Asian Improv? Moderated by Gabe Mercado with Jay Wang from Beijing, Lakshmi from Bangalore, and Tim Yo from Singapore. And they had interesting insights on what makes Asian Improv unique, but what also takes root and connects with other cultures. And so this evening we have 4 panelists who will be joining us this evening. We have an improviser from Improv Comedy Bangalore, Siddarth Venkatesh. We have an instructor and also an improviser from Third World Improv, Aih Mendoza. We also have from Hong Kong's Lost in Translation, King Chan, and an improviser and a mindfulness facilitator from Pakistan, Maheen Mohammed. Ayan, they will be joining me this evening to talk about this topic, coming from different perspectives. Hi, hello. It's good to thank you for coming and joining us this evening. So siguro before we jump into our topic, it might be good to hear how the improv scene and or community is in your cities or in your spaces at the moment. Maybe we can start with Siddarth.
Yeah, thank you, Ariel. Hello, everyone. So I basically am an improviser with Improv Comedy Bangalore. Hey, King, there you are. Obviously we're based out of Bangalore. So here, so the improv started just around 5 or 6 years ago. So in that sense, it's very nascent. But over the past 2 years, there has been this online explosion. But otherwise, it was a sort of close-knit community with every month we used to have jams, we used to have workshops, we used to have In the jam, we used to have specific sections for experimental sort of work, wherein a few of our improvisers used to, come up with various formats and all. So, yeah, it was quite active and on the up. And then the rate increased quite a bit in the past 2 years. Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So it's rising. It's you. I see
Yeah.
the steep rise when you flexed your hand that way. Yeah. Thank you, Siddarth. That's good to hear. How about you, King? King from Hong Kong.
Hi, everyone. I think the Hong Kong scene is quite, relatively speaking, of U.S. improv roots, I would say this, North American improv roots. But in recent, I would say 2 to 3 years, we've had a lot more people with multicultural backgrounds. So like people like me or my dual partner, Steph, who has grown up in Hong Kong and in North America and other places in Asia.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of things
yes.
at the moment.
Yeah.
And,
King, we lost you for a bit. Yeah, we lost you for a bit, King. Yeah, sorry, you were saying. Yeah, there.
Oh, sorry.
We can hear you now.
Okay, sorry. I was just saying, yeah. Well, A, I'm on public Wi-Fi. Hopefully, it doesn't do this again. But B, very quickly, we're having more and more people of multicultural backgrounds, of like people who say grew up in Hong Kong but partly in North America, and that's in the last 2 to 3 years. So hopefully that has sort of made things a bit more diverse, and there's a lot more experimentation going on of like Cantonese and Mandarin and different languages and all that at the moment.
So with a diverse membership now of players, then the improv community is taking a different turn also. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, King. Let's hear from Maheen from Pakistan.
Hi, everybody. So improv in Pakistan actually started years ago, right in the very beginning, with a team called Blackfish back in the early 2000s. And in the last recent several years, there's been a number of improv troupes and different people playing sort of all over. And it hasn't been super cohesive just yet. And I had a chance to join an improv community, and that's when I got started back in 2015, 2016. And it was, absolutely fantastic. Such talented people here that I got to play with, and I was so grateful for that experience. And some of that faded since then. And since the pandemic started, I had the opportunity to do a lot of improv online. So again, the world opened up, and being able to take classes with teachers from all over the world, being able to play with different people from all over the world, has been absolutely, has been really, really fun as well. And I've really appreciated that opportunity.
Yeah, thanks, Maheen. Yeah, the borders are also being redefined in a different way, because of that, because of this experience. Of course, we're not thankful for the pandemic, but it definitely also blurred boundaries too. No, how about quickly? Can you please, describe the scene here in the Philippines?
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Aih. The scene here in the Philippines, it has been around for 20 years, but just for majority of that with one group with Spit, and they were one of the sole improv groups. I mean, between 2 or 3 of them on and off. And then about 5 years ago, they started Third World Improv, which I'm an alumni of, and that's where it kind of exploded. So thank you for starting that school, Spit. And it's been it's a homogenous community for most part. So it's been very purely Filipinos with white immigrants here and there, mostly. And then just like what Maheen talked about, the online explosion suddenly exposed us to improv that wasn't like the improv we played. Suddenly we're playing with improvisers who didn't look like us, who didn't think like us. And that's also where, going to the topic of the panel, where that awareness of suddenly like, I actually do have some of that colonial mentality that I wasn't aware of, because now I'm suddenly exposed to lots of our Western counterparts more than I have been so before.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. I now actually opened that. She brought us to that to the topic seamlessly. Too. Maybe you can talk. Can you talk a little bit more how this setup, actually the online improv setup, actually made you feel these things, or made you be in touch in a different way, maybe. So about these ideas of difference and colonial mentality.
Yeah, it was weird because it was definitely a reckoning with myself. I had considered myself to be like a very progressive Filipino. I was like, yeah, I don't let no man tell me what to do. A very like, white person. I got this. But it was very different experience when I suddenly was week after week in classrooms with them, and the voice in my head started going like, what are you doing here? Like, you're an Asian lady. Are they going to like find you funny? You don't know the references. And then a part of me started scrambling to be like, you have to know all like the Hollywood things, and you always have to be in white suburbia. Like that has to be your place all the time. And it was vulnerable because it was, would be very few Asians in the room here and there. And that's when I realized like, wow, it made me reflect on how I was brought up. I'm like, of course I feel this way because I was brought up in a family in a community in the Philippines that was like, West is best, only speak English, don't go out in the sun because you're going to look dark and you have to pass off as, you have to look white as possible, or study hard so you can go to university in the States so you can marry a white guy. And I'm like, that makes sense. That's why I feel this way all these years later.
Thank you. Yeah. So it made you reflect, no? The formative years, So, but it seemed like doing improv online became a boot camp for you to also dig deeper within. No? I'd like to hear what Siddarth and Maheen or King maybe, thoughts about what I shared or about our topic too.
Yeah. So from the ICB's perspective, at least based on my memory, which is like weird now. But I remember not having many Westerners or joiners because we are at a nascent stage. So I had a similar experience in terms of exposure to Western improvisers only when it became online. And for me, there was this hesitancy a lot, whether we are doing the right thing, follow the rules, is this how improv is taught, or whatever XYZ, right? So that was going on a lot, but luckily what happened is I, for whatever reason, didn't stick to one person, or, I used to take workshops all around, and that sort of, I wouldn't say normalized it, but brought the intensity down, because I used to see different people in different rooms at different occasions, and that was like, oh, so even others are there. And from India, there were quite a few of us from India, actually, in the room, like, at least 4 or 5 would be there from India, a few from the Philippines. So, it wasn't so bad as it was initially, that it's sort of normalized. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Siddarth. On that note, before I ask for Maheen and King's insights also, we have a question from Mike Obamos. Would you say colonial mentality then affects your inner critic? As an improviser, interesting. The inner critic. It's also sometimes being mindful of that inner critic. So, yeah. What are your thoughts about this? About this question?
I can jump in there. First, I just want to say I relate a lot to what I said specifically, and what's been interesting for me. The question about the inner critic. So my inner critic is there, whether the colonial mentality comes in or it doesn't come in. The inner critic is always popping up, So, and absolutely, the awareness that that's there really helps. And what happened for me was that I didn't actually. In a completely different context, I have started to think about my own internalized, colonial mentality, and I've been thinking about that a lot lately because of a different context, not an improv. And then I got this message from Aih telling me about this panel, and that's when I started to reflect back on my experiences in improv in this global space, and that's when it started to come to me. So for me, it was a little bit of reflection in hindsight, because what I had started to recognize in myself, and it started in a different context, but I started to recognize that, wow, I've always kind of, this idea of fitting in. I've always sort of, I can fit in wherever I go. And so maybe that means, adapting myself to whatever the situation might be, and whoever it is that I'm playing with, or whoever it is that I'm learning with in a different context, whatever it might be. And then, yes, things come up around race, or I feel things. And I always thought it happens only in those spaces. But recently I've been thinking a lot about how the internalized colonial mentality, how this internalized racism, how actually we live in this world that it's alive all the time. And it's not just when I'm doing improv with people who don't look like me. It's actually there all the time. It's there. And I've really started to reflect on that, on how has it impacted me? How does it impact even us as a society, in the way, in the class differences that are present, here in Pakistan, and how so much of that racialized trauma has been internalized, and we act out that pain as a society on other people. So I've been thinking a lot about those kinds of things, and it was, and I was like, oh yes, improv too. But it was sort of almost in hindsight that came up for me.
Yeah. Many of you have been talking about how it's an internalized colonial mentality. It seems that Maheen also mentioned the how I fit. You fit in. Before you ask these questions, there was a feeling of I can easily fit in. So there's this seemingly a feeling of otherness then. Which is of course also part of this experience of colonial mentality, an imposed self or identity from a seeming, authority, and the others who don't fit that mold, seem to be relegated to the margins, So yes, the idea of an imposed self or identity, and the feeling of being othered, of otherness. If I may share also, I performed with Beijing Improv when when I went there for a visiting faculty program, and I actually realized that rather than having a colonial mentality, I think it was also, having that imposed identity of how being Filipino should be on the reverse. Like I realized, because I think Beijing also as a city with diverse people, the idea of otherness seems to be there, but also not there. I don't know if that makes sense, but it seemed that everyone is an other person also in Beijing. Yes, Siddarth, yeah, you're raising your hand.
What I wanted to say is, so one thing that worked out in ICB's favor is last June or July, we celebrated our 5-year anniversary, and we were exposed to many improvisers. So we had a lot of support. But to your point, so I don't, or at least the instances of like direct colonizing is very less, because many people are aware. But what is there will be a subtext, or it comes in various indirect forms that we are not even aware of sometimes, right? So on the face of it, everything is okay, but then suddenly, then there is this point of reference which is just North American. And you feel, like I was saying before, I have to learn, because I want to learn improv. I want to be good at improv. I want to be improving. for now to do that, I need to learn about some Hollywood, Broadway stuff or whatever, right? And that's indirect. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so having a standard, no. Yes. Please. Yes.
Yeah. So building off what Siddarth said and relating back to the question, that adds on to the inner critic voice, right? That's another thing that I feel like I know it's not necessary, and I know like people will be like, just go and bring your culture, it's fine. Like do your own references. For me, what it is that yes, everybody is like making it a safe space, but sometimes the unsafe space is inside your mind. Sometimes you can't get out of that because that's an inner work thing that you have to be doing. I found that was true for me because I was constantly like what Siddarth was saying. It's not overt, and it's not like people are out there being racist to your face. I mean, sometimes they're like microaggressions. Sometimes like unaware, like they're not conscious of like small things where they'll make references that's majorly white, or they'll talk about like this format, this game is called this in America, and we're like, those are small things, but it was then a challenge for me to not pressure myself to make my improv palatable to a white taste, to make my improv recognizable to them.
Yes. King, yes, King. Any insight on this? Because you said something about earlier during our check-in about how how improv started in HK2, no?
Yeah. So there's several things. Like Hong Kong has, as I would say, mostly maybe Chinese population. Expats are clearly the minority population, but in terms of performers, it would definitely be expats most. Local Chinese or like Asians, less so. So that obviously impacts the audience that we have. It impacts the kind of shows that we do, impacts the references that are made into shows. At the same time, though, because the scene here was developed not by like a specific school or a coach or anything, it was very much cobbled together. Like some people did some classes, some people passed through and were like, hey, I know something from this place, like let me just perform. And so there's a very much cobbled together aspect of the Hong Kong improv scene. So I remember very early on, this goes to a point that I think Maheen also mentioned, was like making cultural references. So there was an instance where very early on in my improv performance journey, where someone in my team mentioned Iron Man. I did not grow up reading comic books. I had no idea who that was. I knew of the word Iron Man. I didn't know what it meant. And all he did the whole time, because this was a rehearsal, but all he did was like this. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'll just do Iron Man. He's very heavy. Da 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 da. I don't know what it means and in a sense, because I was put on the spot, but I still stuck it out. I feel I earned the right to tell people if I don't know it, I don't know it. If like, what are you going to do about it? And I think that there's some element to that of everyone has to fight for their own space to show their voice a little bit. So I sort of understand the colonial aspect. I don't think it's more than colonial. It's more of like, I think it's more of how far do you push your individualism in an improv scene when it's partly collaborative as well? Because that depends on your teammates. But how far do you push your individual aspects or individual background when they may not share that background? How far do you push it? I think that's part of the conversation here, I think.
Yes, yeah, definitely, King. Yeah, I the way you were telling your story too was how do you navigate the yes ending there, right? You were given a reference that you did not understand, but maybe was seemingly shared by a certain group of people, and how does the yes ending? How can a yes ending happen in such situations? So, yeah, I don't. we have other questions, but before we answer them, maybe I don't know if Siddarth, or Maheen has something to say with what King has shared. Yeah, earlier.
I have an anecdote about lack of understanding references. I don't remember the exact word, but earlier some word came up in a scene way back, 1 year or 1.5 years back at the start of the pandemic. I had no clue. So King, at least he thought Iron Man was heavy. I just named my dog as that name. So whatever that word was given, I just called my dog by that word because I had zero clue. And the scene, which was supposed to probably go some way, just turned. And I didn't even realize it. I went afterwards and tried to check out the meaning. That's how it was.
Thank you, Siddarth.
Yeah. I think to add to what Kim was saying, there's definitely a feeling of liberation when you can allow yourself to be wrong and be I don't know that difference, but I'm not gonna let myself be ignorant about that, and that's fine. There's also, I feel like, an aspect of trust to the other person to be okay with you not getting their idea precisely. And I think when the distrust can creep in, or that doubt can creep in, when you feel like there is a status play there is a little bit of like power dynamics when it's like, you don't know who Iron Man is, like what are you, versus like I'll talk about tikbalans and mananangals. You don't know what that is, but because of that societal, the thing that's already been put together, right, where it's like the West pop culture is going to be what's reigning over, so therefore you must know that, and we don't care if you don't know your local references and stuff. It's not right, but it is something that we have internalized, whether I think we're aware of it or not.
I brought that up. No, the how information, a certain worldview, a certain, not just pop culture maybe, but a certain way of seeing things. When you feel that your scene player seems to play that up, when information and knowledge becomes a currency for authority and power. Now, I don't know if because sometimes that can affect relationships that we can play. How does the improv player and your character navigate these things? Any insights on that?
Yeah, I think that there's a few pieces to it, right? So there is, I think, I so agree with what you're saying. There is this sort of worldview or this idea that there's certain references that should be general and that should be known, that should be known by
universal.
Everybody. Yes, those are universal. Those are universal, and those are the Western ones typically, and that everybody should know those ones. And so I think there's, we live in the sea where that's the case, where the standard, where the norm is this Western kind of norm that's been decided. So we live in the sea of that. And then, and I personally think, for me at least, I think that impacts even when we're not in spaces that are with our colonizers. I think it shows up. I think it's so internalized. It shows up even in just Pakistani spaces for me. It shows up in, other places like that as well. And so first of all, there's that. And then the other piece of it is so there's this worldview, and then there's what's internalized. So if somebody, says a reference and I don't know it, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with me because I don't know that. That's the internalized racism or the internalized colonial mentality that's showing up. So both are true. There's the internalized part, and there's there is a truth in saying that something is seen to be as more accepted or as more the more universal, as you said, Ariel. And I think that the way I see it is, my work is to actually touch into the pain of, oh, there's a part of me that believes I'm not good enough because I don't know that reference. Or there's a part of me that believes that I can't come into an improv scene and use Pakistani names because what if other people can't pronounce them? And what if, all of those kinds of things. So there's that part of me, and that there's a pain that I carry with that. And that's my work, is to touch into that pain and to let that breathe, let that be there, and to offer myself compassion for it. And And at the same time, to also recognize that the other thing is also true. And can we call that out? Can we call it out that this is this has been determined as the universal thing? So both things, be with my own pain, give myself the compassion, the awareness and the recognition, okay, that's there. And then also calling out that, we're working in a space that this is what's assumed to be universal. And calling that out as well.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I love what you're saying, Maheen. Like it's also a firm. I think that also dovetails with the first question about how your inner critic is also informed by how you have been silenced, how your identity has been silenced by this colonial mentality of a certain primacy, of an identity, of a colonial identity. The Andrea Gonzalez has a question that seems to be relevant to that. And how do you respond to that? When there is some feeling of animosity, when you are in touch with that feeling as an improviser, how can that be addressed when you are in an improv scene, or maybe should it be addressed inside or outside the scene? So maybe it's good. Yeah. What are your thoughts there? How do you call them out? When do you give? Yeah. Yes, King.
Yeah, so my improv journey, like there were a lot of schools of improv approaches, I suppose, nowadays. But the approach that suits my style, I felt the most convincing to me, because I'm the one who perform on stage, that's convincing to me, is you are responsible for yourself. Like you're responsible for the scene, but you are only responsible for yourself. And there is an element where when I perform with the people I perform with, you don't try to impose a premise onto your fellow players. So for example, as a general rule, unless we know each other very well and we know we are messing with each other, as a very general rule, I'm not going to step into a scene and say, hello, teacher, and just say you are the teacher right away, as opposed to I'm just going to step in, I'm going to be someone, but I'm not going to tell who you are. I'm not going to tell what situation we're in. I think that's one way. There's an element of trust in there, of course, definitely, as mentioned. But I think that's one way of sort of sidestepping any I think a lot of this is also preconceived notions of what is appropriate, what is higher status, what is lower status per se. But I think if you and your teammates have an understanding of you step in what you have, I step in what I have, and we will see where we meet in the middle, there is room to negotiate that in a different way. And there has to be element of trust in there as well. And I think that will help you navigate the preconceived or the conventional status quos per se, because that allows you, okay, just because I'm a student doesn't mean I won't have a higher status, or just because, maybe in an Asian traditional Chinese setting, perhaps, maybe the teacher has high status. How so? How is a higher status? Maybe in a flip outside of school, maybe it doesn't. Like, there has to be some element of trust of, when we move to a scene, don't impose to me right away. Don't say, oh, you are lower status because da 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 da. No. And if there's some element of trust in the sense of, if someone does that to me, I'm going to push back and say no, because as a performer, if I'm uncomfortable, the audience can see it. The audience can see I'm uncomfortable, and if you don't address it, the audience is going to disbelieve it because they can tell you're very uncomfortable with it, and B, you're not going to enjoy it, which is some extent of why else are you doing improv, not for your own enjoyment as well.
Thank you, King. Yeah. Yes, Siddarth.
So one thought that came to my mind is, one thing that has happened now. So if you see online improv, it's not necessary that every online improviser is associated with a team or so they might actually individually go to workshops and jams. And I understand what Atin is saying, but what I feel, it also depends on the experience of the improviser and for how long the improvising has been going on in that city or the country. Because what I feel is if somebody is just starting off, and if they are subjected to this, or if they come to this, sort of a point of reference where they don't figure out what Iron Man is or whatever, coming onto stage and being an improviser is scary enough for people who are starting off. If you add such layers, that person is probably going to just withdraw. And there are exceptions. There are going to be exceptions. So mostly, it's not going to be easy. So what I would also say is, especially teams or improv companies creating deliberate spaces and addressing this, before even starting a workshop or something, talking about this. Then what happens is people at least have in the back of their mind, and maybe they can, reduce the instances or something of that sort, because it's very tough for people who are starting out or younger improvisers to even have that nuance and even have the awareness that has happened, right? Calling out is so it's the next level. Even having the awareness that has happened, I'm not sure. They're just going to, just go back to them.
Yes, Thank you, Siddarth.
Yeah, this is all great. I'm learning so much from everybody. Going back to the question, I really loved what Maheen talked about acknowledging and being mindful of what's going on inside you. First, being mindful of why am I. Just to reiterate what Andrea was asking about that feeling of animosity, if that is coming from something that you have observed is tangibly somebody has, maybe like somebody else in the room has unconsciously maybe made that mistake to have triggered your animosity, or at the same time, is it just because you are reacting, and I know this happened to me, reacting from a place where it's just that unsafe space in your own mind again, and recognizing the differences between that, and then deciding whether or not you're going to sit with yourself and like process that, or then say, no, that was really because somebody else had maybe crossed the line, and then I can then call it out. I just a few weeks ago, I was in an online class, and there was a white teacher, and there was one other Asian woman there. The exercise was very much to do with language and English, and the exercise was to give say the same line in synonyms. Keep giving different ways of saying X, Y, Z, and I could feel that. Like us not the non-native speakers in the room, not just even the Asians, but the non-native English speakers in the room were really grappling with this. And it was that, and in my mind, it's not just us, I guess. It's not just an inner thing. It was the exercise in itself. Not that it was wrong, but I guess calling out the awareness. And so I did be like, there is an English proficiency barrier here as well. So we can be kinder with ourselves and not stretch ourselves too much if this is really where we can go with that exercise. So I guess the difference between external and internal starting points for the animosity, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Yes, Maheen. Yeah,
thank you. I really agree with that. I checking in internally what's going on, and then sometimes there is a need to call it out, like you said. Sometimes it triggers some of my own pain, it triggers some of my own wounding, but at the same time, this other thing is also true. I recently had an experience, which is why some of this has come up with me, where somebody made some microaggressions towards me, and some pretty more than just microaggressions kinds of things, and which really fell into the camp of racist comments. And my initial instinct, because this is how I've been conditioned to handle these kinds of things, my initial instinct was to brush it off and say, all right, I know the person's intention was not to hurt me. And I did know that. I knew that the person was thinking that they're trying to connect with me, but they made some stereotypical comments about my country, etc. And so I know that the intention wasn't to hurt me. So my initial instinct was, it's okay, put it aside. And because I have the conditioned habit of taking that pain, putting it to the side and showing up anyway, that's what I was initially going to do, right? And for the next 3 days, I just felt a lot of anger and grief. And I kind of sat with it, and it was kind of, and I came to a point where I was like, you know what, it's not being true to myself. I could show up and compartmentalize and I could keep showing up, but then I am not being true to myself. And I can touch into the pain. I can feel where that's coming from. And I can see that this other person is attempting to connect, but is there a kind way? So the question about the animosity, and I felt anger, I felt, and what the only thing I can think of to do in that situation is to reach out and to say, just look, when you made these comments, this is what it brought up for me. This is the pain that it triggered. This is, and kind of, giving that feedback. And I think in terms of improv, if you're working with the same group of people, having those conversations from before, recognizing that this is a thing. This isn't episodic. It's not that, only when it happened, when a situation occurs or an incident occurs. We actually live in this world where the standard is the Western standard. And then everything else deviates from it. That's a universally kind of understood thing. I feel like I've been talking for a long time, so I'll pause for now.
It's all right. No, but thank you. No, that I think that what you've been saying, Maheen, is very important. How the improviser and the character maybe played by the improviser can handle it right there and then maybe, but sometimes we need to take care of that improv player too. When the character has been shed off, and there's the Filipino word for outside is labas, which is also a relevant word when we say show, palabas. It's an outward performance, but the thing of the loob or the inside has to be taken care of as well. And the dichotomy of the improv player and the character is surfacing somehow, when the improv player must be taken care of in this sense. We have questions from here, from Gabe Mercado. How can you help people from colonizer cultures, from cultures who have been colonizers, play with people like us better? What would we need to tell them to keep in mind? Yes, Siddarth.
So I loved what King said, and with slightly a nuanced improviser, there is so much possible, wherein you don't need to do the who in the first three lines, right? You can do it about yourself, but at least do not endo the other person, so then it just constricts them. So if one way in the scene is to keep it open and let it organically come from the Asian or whatever person, right? And then when he defines as I am this or that means there is a comfort zone, and then the scene will develop. I like that idea a lot. What he said, that is one way to definitely do it.
Yeah. Any other insights? Yes, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I've been fortunate enough to be in many classrooms led by Western teachers that have done, I think, a good job at alleviating the tension. And I think it's simply just acknowledgement, really, because it's not that you're responsible, and it's not them. They're not going to solve the problem, because it's not that they're currently colonizers. It's like a former, right? Like as you said, they're former colonizers, and a lot of the work is internal, and it's deeply rooted in class, in our own societies, in our own where we grew up, and that's a whole different kind of worms to open. I think it's just simply acknowledging that this is what is true, and lots of great teachers will acknowledge that. For example, this game is called I Am a Tree. That's popular here in London, but maybe you know it a different way from where you've come from. This is the rules. Raise your hand if you know this game. It might be called differently, or they'll talk about jargon. They'll be like, this teacher, then you might not know him. He's a teacher from Canada, for example, taught this, and just not non-assumption that you must know this. So acknowledging also the different cultures in the room has been helpful for me in those situations where they say we have friends from all over the world here, and we'll be mindful of each other's preferences, sensitivities, or feelings that might come up, putting in place systems where we're allowed to walk out of a scene or to call out things like this made me uncomfortable. And that even outside of the sensitivities of colonialism, it touches on everything else, right? With identity, with sexuality, all those things.
Yeah, thank you. That seems to also answer, allyship, or Velvet. What can Western culture jam moderators do to alleviate some of this internalized tension? Like setting that space, that where diversity is, and that it's a safe space where people can retreat and also express if they feel that they are also they feel triggered or unprepared, with what has been said. King, and then Maheen has something to say. Yes, King.
Sorry, Maheen. I may have cut the line or something, I think. So I think I would say there are three ways you can approach it to make it work. One, obviously, if you're performing in a troupe which you will perform regularly with, you definitely should have that discussion. I think if anything, online improv is promoted is the discussion of boundaries, physical, mental, topical boundaries. What are the boundaries which not necessarily you cannot touch, but what are the issues which you have to be a bit more delicate about? Like your team, if you're performing with a regular group of people, everyone should have understanding. You should be friends. You should have an understanding what it is you should be touching on. If it's a jam, obviously it's a little bit harder, but it's not like it's but my personal approach would be either this is a technique I learned from a workshop run by Ari, which was you endow your partner with those attributes. So like say I'm playing with a partner who has never been to Asia. And instead of me playing the Asian role, I will endow him or her with those Asian roles. Oh, you are like that, just to like put them in a very awkward position. In a sense, it's a very aggressive thing to do. But at the same time, they're in a very new space for themselves. And then that's like a way of everyone understanding what is it like to play in a traditionally maybe Western cultured, possibly lower status position, because now I've put you in that position. I know it goes against what I said earlier, but it's a way to make the other person understand. Don't do this to me. It's by example of, here, why don't you try that? It's not as fun as you think it is, so stop doing that to me, kind of thing. It's a bit aggressive, but I think you only need to do it once, and I think everyone who's on stage should understand very quickly that you should not do that.
Thank you, King. Yeah. So, letting the other person feel, how how it is. Yeah, Maheen, yes.
I wanted to just answer the question about the allyship around from Western moderators and teachers from Western cultures. And I want to specifically say, so I think that for me, I can only speak for myself, but I think generally for me and possibly even for other, people of color or people from colonized cultures, I know I have my own work to do. I know I have my own work to do in terms of looking at my own pain. And I would want to invite people who are from the culture of the colonizers, specifically, more specifically white people, to do their own work. And that I think is important if you're going to be a teacher, if you're going to be a moderator, people who are doing that to do their own work, to do their own, to examine what are their own, what comes up for them. And there's this work is, these are difficult things to talk about. And the first step of it, I think, is to recognize, there's this teacher, Resma Menachem, who basically says that the truth of the current world that we live in, the world that we live in, is that the white body deems and has deemed itself the supreme standard by which all bodies' humanity shall be measured structurally and philosophically. And if you don't understand that point, everything else about race will confuse you. So we have to first recognize that this is the water we're swimming in. that it's not episodic, that this is the water we're swimming in. And if you recognize that, then once you recognize that, then we're all in it, and it's no one's exempt from it. There's no space that you can go to, no place that you can go to where it's not there. Whether you're with people who look like you or people who look different from you, it doesn't matter. There's nowhere you can go. And so we all have some stuff to inquire into for ourselves. And so my invitation would be for people who are moderating to do their own work and see, what comes up in there.
Yeah. Thank you, Maheen. So an awareness, an active awareness of actually keeping yourself informed so that you can contribute to constructing these safe spaces. Siddarth and then Aih. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to make 2-3 points. One is the more we, we sort of improv with our friends across the oceans, West friends, they get aware, we get aware, and it's a long-term process. The reason I say that is one thing that actually intrigued me is when we were starting off, most of the Asian, Indian, Philippine, and other improvisers used to do midnight classes. They still do. Many of them still do. And, only recently have people started saying Asian-friendly class versus Europe-friendly and what. So there's a distinction. So, so these all the folks will catch up for sure. What I'd also like to say is in general conversation on boundaries, racism, discrimination, setting a safe space before a class, even though if it is not specific to colonizing and cultural misappropriation, etc., but it helps a lot because at that moment it's almost like a switch when people know that they need to, at least take care of certain things, and that helps, and that happens a lot. In fact, that is one of the most important things that I've learned from online improv is to have safe spaces, talk about boundaries, etc.
Thank you, Siddarth. Yeah, Aih.
So this is a very brief example and anecdote of one of the most powerful things I think that a Western-based moderator or teacher had done. And this was a class in the nursery, and the teacher was Jules Mons, and he had acknowledged after a couple of sessions with that class, he had acknowledged that there were maybe like 5 to 6 nationalities in that and cultures in that room, and had just then, for the first time after a couple of sessions, given space to celebrate that, and just told us, hey, not that we needed his permission, but it just gave the acknowledgement of being like, hey, let's play with your, give names from your own culture, and let's give each other, not just that it's from me as instructor, but it starts with me and inviting everybody else to do the same thing, where we're creating and expanding our space for each other. And we all, called each other. I used Filipino names, I got called Italian names, and it was very fun. And it was like that, it just needed a celebration, I think. It was diversity, and just like the festival celebration and diversity makes us all better.
Yeah. Thanks, Aih. Yeah, before we have our last question, yes, King.
All right. Sorry, very quick. Jumping on what I just said, very much of, I think a lot of it can come from the moderator or the coach or the leader of the group, in the sense of, I think more emphasis needs to be put on the very fundamental principle.
We lost King for a bit. Yeah.
Yes, and
King, yeah, we need you to repeat that. Hi, King.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, do you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, now we can hear you clearly. A while ago, yeah.
Sorry. Yes, hear me. I was just saying that I think more emphasis needs to be put on a very fundamental aspect of improv, which is anything can happen, in a sense of, especially even at beginner level of just opening up the possibility. Say if a student does one thing, and then and just leaving the letting the students know that this may still be a good thing, even though it may not. It's a lot of time it's a matter of taste, and I think improv can do a much better job of of telling, of letting beginner students know that anything is possible. I think that sometimes it gets lost, especially with maybe certain coaches who have not had exposure.
Yeah.
Sorry, did you catch any of that or not? I know, I'm not entirely sure.
Got most of it.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. We got most of it. Yeah. Thanks, King. Yeah. Maybe before we, it's almost, that has been almost an hour of sharing insights, of our main question on feelings, on insights and experiences of colonial mentality. Maybe it's good to hear also one or two stories of how something positive. How can you tell us about the time where improv provided a safe space where perceived status difference between colonizer and colonized was somehow addressed or mediated, or maybe while playing? Did you have a specific experience where that happened? Yeah. Yes, Siddarth.
So this was a
Recording stopped.
This was Jonathan Pitt's workshop, and we thought at the start of it, for 15-20 minutes, we were just discussing certain aspects like boundaries, accommodations, including cultural stereotypes. Till that point of time, I had not heard. So generally, cultural stereotypes do not come. What comes in is punching down, punching up. But this was the first time that I had heard, and that. It informed me as well, because I started thinking about how I represent my own culture. But yeah, that was one of the first times where this space was created by JP. It was lovely. Oh, I just wanted to say one more thing before. Such a powerful thing that I said of I am a tree. And a couple of weeks back, I was in Ari's session, and he just tweaked the exercise and said, instead of saying I am a tree, say I am a samosa, which is an Indian dish. And it led to such different scenes, unbelievably good. That's
Yes, like I love how tweaking a game can open up spaces, not just safe spaces, but maybe even brave spaces to be who we can be and to be who we are. And again, the power of the authority of the moderator, but also of the participant as an improv player, as a scene player, being true to our principle of having each other's backs, of being trustworthy. I think the dialogue is always welcome. And I think with what we heard also from Maheen, not just a dialogue among our improv community, but being able to be comfortable dialoguing with yourself. Being able to mindfully dialogue with yourself, because maybe realizing how an internalized colonial identity or colonial mentality has also prevented us from letting our truer or a broader, truer self also come out. Once again, thank you very much. Thank you, Maheen, King, Siddarth, and Aih. Just one last statement from everyone before we end our second panel for today. Aih?
I would like to, say that this was a very valuable conversation, but it's also the first. And I think that it can't stop here. There is work to be done on both ends, in our own selves, what Maheen was talking about, recognizing even in our own home spaces, are we putting ourselves in the lower status as in our own circles, even without the white person? Are we making the white thing better unconsciously because that's how we were raised, and being able to recognize that? And it's not going to change overnight, but doing that work also, and on the end of our white counterparts, is to support us through this journey, and also give the space for that to happen, and not that awareness and that mindfulness is really so critical and foundational.
Siddarth?
I totally agree. What I also want to say is, I want to definitely say that many people whom I've interacted with online are actually aware. Maybe because I choose the right persons. I'm not sure. But many people are aware, because of this online phenomena. And I absolutely second I. It's this we need to, all of us, we need to improve this as a skill set of getting more aware, trying to call out stuff. And call out doesn't mean aggressively, maybe just having a conversation. And that will go a very long way. Because sometimes they just don't know that they're doing this. And maybe just telling them right onto their faces might actually solve the problem.
Thank you, Siddarth. Maheen?
Yes, I agree with both Aih and Siddarth that that yes, we need to look at ourselves. We need to, and it's help. And when we see it, we can call it out. And that this is definitely just one of the very first conversations. I hope that we'll have more of these, and that we can have more of these in our communities and with each other. And I think, lastly, just that even as we check in with ourselves and we start to recognize some of these, the way some of this mentality has been internalized, that we do that with kindness, because it's so much harder to accept what we've been believing for a long time if we judge ourselves for having believed it. So just meeting that with kindness and with curiosity of, okay, what's going on here? So I think those would be the last points I would say. Thank you.
Thank you, Maheen. King?
Yes, I definitely agree. I think this is, for me, even, this was a great conversation to have. I learned a lot. And I think it's a good conversation to have with your community, the community that you're involved in, whether online or in person. I would definitely say, jumping on what Maheen said, is not only do you, to give each other the safe space to do it, but give yourself permission. If you're a performer in any capacity, even rehearsal, give yourself the permission to try something different. Give yourself the permission to, what if I bring in tonight, in a 30-minute performance, I'm going to bring in one local element, anything. Just remind yourself, no matter what, before I step off stage, I'm going to do one thing. See how it goes, see how it feels, test the waters, because you have to push yourself to push the boundaries. That is part of the conversation, I think.
Yes, thank you very much. That was a bad Tim, that we lost you, but I think what you said, giving permission to be yourself, giving permission to be yourself. It's a very actionable thing. Thank you very much. This has been a wonderful conversation. And yes, the conversation has just begun about these things. Thank you very much for joining us for panel 2. Tomorrow, of course, we have more panel, and on Sunday we have 2 more panels. But as for today, the festival 2, day 2 has just started. So hit refresh on our FB page, and the next live performance will be the next video. Block 4 brings GG Improv, the Words and Feelings Show, Modern Schemers, and Citylamps Playback Theater. And of course, you can always check out our workshops at ImprovisAsianFestival.com. Thank you very much, Aih, Siddarth, King, and Maheen. Ako po si Ariel Diccion. I'm from Spit, Manila. Thank you. See you at the other festival events.
Hello, welcome.
Hi, everybody. Good evening and welcome to the Block 4 of this year's ImprovisAsian Festival.
Yes, we're now at day 2 and we just had a great day 1, jam-packed with just entertainment, learnings from the panel, and now we will continue that. So should we just start, or do you have anything to say, Tabs?
Well, what I want to say is that if you're ready to laugh, to cry, or even cry from laughter, you've come to the right place at ImprovisAsian Festival. And as MJ mentioned, we aren't all just shows. We've got panel discussions over the rest of the days. We actually just finished a lovely discussion on improvising with your colonizers. This really left us a lot to think about.
I agree. And also, we have workshops, right? So we got more workshops, so you can check it out at improvisationfestival.com. And also, we got merch. So if you want to remember this day a lot more, go ahead, check those merch out. Again, improvisationfestival.com. And also a huge shout out to our prod team who, without them, this won't be possible. So give your support and love by treating them with coffee through ko-fi.com. That's ko-fi.com/improvisationfestival to show your support to our prod team. Yes, so shall I just introduce our first performer, Tabs?
Got it. You go ahead.
Okay. Well, our first performer is from the Philippines. We got an all-women improv group of varying gender identities, attractions, and expressions, and they seek to provide an inclusive, safe space for women and to spread a message of love, respect, and community through improv. Everyone, let's welcome the genuine and gorgeous from the Philippines, GG Improv.
Woo!
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Yes. Hello, so we're GG Improv. I'm Abby. I'm going to be playing along with Ice, Andrea, and Jen. So since we are an all-women improvisers, what we will be leaning on to as a general theme for our games tonight would be stereotypes growing up as a Filipino girl or woman. So the first game that we'll be playing is Onion. So what will happen is that there will be one player and then another player will come in, and that will be an entirely different scene, and then another player will come in and another entirely different scene. So we're looking forward to be enjoying the rest of the night with you, and thank you so much for being here. So the ask for that we had given tonight is, what's an inappropriate comment you received because of your gender? So let's see. Okay, this is the prompt that we will be playing on. Kat, ang gaslaw mo gumalaw. So this is Onion, and we are GG Improv.
What a wonderful day. Another day at the office, being the only girl here since the pandemic. It's been a while, but I still need to take care of myself and just move the way that I want to, like a normal girl, And as a very good TikToker, I have a lot of dance moves that I want to share with everyone. The hit songs of today's generation as a Gen Z. This is really something that I'm really, really looking forward to. My favorite step of the day, it's this one. Yes. This movement will really make me the #1 TikTokerist.
No, I don't want to wear the dress, mommy.
Anak, it's your debut. Until now, ayaw mo pa rin suotin. Ito, oh.
No, I want pants. Hindi naman comfy yan eh. Ano ba? Hindi naman I don't wear dresses.
But honey, it's your debut. Alam mo naman, pinagplanuhan namin to ng papa mo, di ba? This is designed by Michael Cinco. Baby,
I
please.
didn't even want to have a debut. A debut is nothing more than a patriarchal practice of you selling me off to men. I don't want to be debuted as a debutante. I'm not for sale. What? Are you going to ask for dowry for me now?
Fine. Kung ayaw mong mag-debut, anong gusto mo? Ano gusto mo? Sabihin mo.
Mama, I just want you to accept me.
Ay, honey. You know, napag-usapan namin to ng daddy mo eh. Sa totoo lang, siya talagang may gusto ng bonggang debut kasi ikaw lang ang unika iha. We want to give you everything, provide everything for you. But you know, since you don't want any of this, anong gagawin natin dito? Meron ka bang naisip? What do you want to do?
I have an idea. Maybe we can just auction off my dress. And then,
Girl, you're already 35. You should already get married and have children. Ano, Mary? Sabihan mo nga yung sister mong si Cassandra.
yes, Cassandra. I told you naman kasi, you should be more entertaining. Ang dami-daming lumalapit sa yung lalaki, ang supla-suplada mo.
Ate, alam mo ba? Ilang beses ko na sinabi, ayoko nga sa lalaki. I don't want boys.
Baka naman you haven't met the right man.
Yes, look at me. I mean, at 35, I found my soulmate in Jeremy. Dati rin akala ko I don't like boys, but Jeremy came into my life and now we're so very happy.
That works for you. Sa akin hindi. Ayoko talaga. Kahit iharap mo pa sa akin si Piolo. Walang effect. Mom, ate, please. Just stop. Ayoko na.
Baka naman pag si Derek, okay lang. Baka Derek yung type mo, hindi Piolo.
Ayoko nga ng... Hindi ko na sasabihin. Basta, ayoko. Okay.
Paano na ako magkakaapo?
Ayan, kay ate. Bakit ako?
Gusto ko parehas kayo. Sige nga, kung talagang attracted ka sa babae, nasaan na yung girlfriend mo? Pakita mo.
Sige papakita ko talaga. Maghintay ka lang dyan, mami. Kita mo?
Mommy.
Oh my God, girls, nakita niyo ba yung bagong balita?
Oh. Hindi ako makapaniwala.
She's pregnant.
My
Oh my God. In-expect niyo ba yun? Siya pa yung sobrang hinhin dun sa class. Grabe talaga, no?
Alam mo, nasa loob talaga yung kulo niyan. My God.
True.
Yun talaga.
Di ba? Hindi
Tapos parang siya pa yung laging nandun sa likod nung class, nung high school tayo. Tapos ngayon siya yung, ay nako. Well, what can I say? Wala naman sa ano yan eh. They cannot judge us with how we dress before when we were in high school, kahit tayong sabi nilang madaming boyfriend and madaming umaaligid, right?
Yes, like you, Patricia. How many boyfriends did you have in high school? 1, 2, 3, 10. I mean, you had so many boys. And yet now you're single. You can't hold on.
Ano ba yan? Patricia, akala ko pa naman ikaw ang unang ikakasal.
Alam mo, nagbabago talaga tao. So I'm sorry that I said we're judging Gemerline right now because she's pregnant. But, you know, people change. Okay? So...
Yes, like you, Patricia, because before, sobrang party girl mo, but now, May pa-Jesus ka pa, pa-pray
Of
ka pa
course,
dyan.
yes.
Oo nga,
Because
lagi kang
again,
nag-i-invite ng pa-Bible study.
because
Ibang-iba
change
ka
comes
na.
in different waves. Actually, we have 3 p.m. Bible study, okay? So I'll be waiting for you. I'll be going there and then maybe you can get some food. Tapos, balikan ko kayo dito sa Starbucks, ha? 3
Okay.
p.m. Bible study and doon na lang sa bahay. Okay, just bring any kinds of food that you like, all right?
Sige.
Okay, remember Jeremiah 1:17. Okay, bye, girls.
Hi! Hi! Oh! Little sister, ang cute-cute naman ng baby nyo. Ni Imelda.
Ito na nga, no. Hindi ko talaga ini-expect na magkaka-baby kami. Mami, masaya ka na ba? Ito na, oh. Ito na yung baby. Kunin mo.
I mean, hindi ba kayo nahirapan? Sino? Hindi kayo nahirapan na mag-decide kung sino yung magdadala sa inyong dalawa?
Hindi naman kasi nakaplano na yan eh. So ako muna, tapos next baby siya naman. Alam mo, thank you talaga sa inyo kasi very supportive na kayo. Alam mo, coming from our conversations 10 years ago,
Yes.
hindi ito mangyayari if not without your support. Lalo ka na, mami.
Oo nga, pasensya ka na anak. Alam mo naman yung henerasyon ko, hindi namin napag-iisipan yun eh. Tsaka siguro nabigla lang din ako and alam mo, like, I'm happy if you're happy.
Aww.
Yes. At dahil dyan, ipagkahanda ko kayo ni Baby at ni Mary ng dinner. Okay? Maghintay kayo
Okay.
dyan.
Thanks, ma.
Thanks.
Mommy, I'm so happy. This is the best. I don't want to call it a debut, but this is the best 18th birthday ever. Thank you so much.
Oh, anak. I'm really happy that you enjoyed our party. Nag-enjoy ka ba dito sa pa-party natin sa Manila's finest park?
Yes, of course.
Oo.
Kasi
Nag-invite
naman,
pa ako ng mga guests.
Oo, in-invite natin kasi yung mga golden geese,
Oo.
yung mga homeless, lahat ng mga gusto kong advocacy, mom, sinuport nyo. Who would have known that you would be convinced to spend all of your riches on these substantial things, no?
Anong problema? Okay lang yun, anak. Tinatawag ka na ni, Mr. Gabby. Ayun, no?
Sige, sadali lang. Mommy, teka lang.
Well, I've already reached 50 million subscribers on TikTok. So, I guess I need to sign off now kasi alam naman ng BIR, hinahabol na daw ang mga social media influencers. So, bye for now, friends. And that was our first game. Nag-enjoy ba kayo? All right, so I'll jump into our second game, which is called Tatsulok. Right, so basically Tatsulok is a modified version of Four Corner Switch. So every time you hear a bell or a sound, the players will switch and they will repeat the last word that was said. So earlier we asked you what is the best gender neutral or unisex gift you received. So we will choose 3 answers. Andrea will take nail cutter, Jen will take t-shirt, and Abby will take a car. So again, that's nail cutter, t-shirt, and car. Take it away, girls.
Inday! Inday!
Oh, ma'am, eto na po.
Ano, ito na po, wala pa naman akong hinihingi.
Eto na po, nandito na po ako.
Oh, asaan yung acetone?
Acetone. Ma'am, wala na po eh. Pingin na lang pong pera, bibili po ako kay Aling Nena.
Paano wala na? Kakabigay ko lang sa'yo ng pambili kahapon. Ikaw, ha? Ikaw, Jubilin. Umamin ka sa akin. Kinukupitan mo ba ako?
Grabe naman kayo, ma'am, maka-judge.
Grabe naman kayong mama ka-judge.
Grabe naman kayo maka-judge. Mamahalin din naman yung t-shirt, So,
Mukhang nabili mo lang yan sa ukay-ukay.
oo nga, galing to sa thrift store. Pero tingnan mo naman yung label o Gucci. So, alangan naman ibenta ko to ng 150 lang, no?
Gucci?
Gucci? Ano ka ba? Pero pwede rin, para mali yung letter. Anyway, sige na, bilhin mo na to.
Sige na
700. Last na. 700.
Bakit 700? Okay, sige na nga para magamit mo yung pera.
O, bagay na bagay siya. Sige, try mo isuot. O, diba? O, bagay yan sa dun sa pupuntahan mo. Ano nga palang event yon? Yung parang, ano yun? Yung for all girls? Yun.
Alam mo,
yun.
alala eh.
So, yun. Gamitin mo yan and alam mo may lucky charm yan eh.
May lucky charm yan eh.
Lucky charm yan eh. Sige na. Sige na. Tanggapin mo na itong pine scent na to. O, isabit mo na sa car mo para mabango na, may lucky charm ka pa. O, di ba?
Paano lucky charm? Anong magagawa nito? Hindi ako naniniwala sa mga ganito eh.
O sige na nga, tatapat
Tsaka bago
din
lang yung kotse ko Bigayan ng ninong ko. So, parang hindi naman bagay ito, lemon scent.
Sige, tatapatin na kita, Veronica, ha? Sa totoo lang kasi medyo may amoy ka eh.
Oh my God. Huwag ka nga maingay. Bakit
Oh my God, huwag ka nga maingay.
Oh my God, ma'am, huwag kang maingay. Matagal na akong nagtatrabaho para sa inyo. Tapos ngayon, ganyan-ganyan lang?
Uy, sa tagal-tagal nga ng pagtatrabaho mo sa akin, ipapaquiet-quiet mo ko. Ikaw ang manahimik, ikaw ang wag maingay. Tandaan mo ha, ako ang amo at ikaw kasambahay ka lang dito, pinapasweldo kita ng maayos ha.
Kasambahay po ako pero may human rights din po ako. Kailangan ko ng dignidad.
O sige, may human rights ka. Pero bakit mo ako ninanakawan?
Hindi ko nga, wala naman po kayong pruwebe.
Ang problema ko, wala yung acetone. Pinabili ko yung acetone.
Pinabili ko sa yung acetone.
Pinabili ko sa yung acetone, tapos eto yung ibabalik mo sa akin?
Kasi yung t-shirt.
T-shirt sa acetone? Ano to? Pambasa pa naman.
Kasi nga nakasulat Gucci, so ginamit ko yung acetone para burahin yung B para maging Gucci.
Ayan.
Yun ang Gucci.
Hindi tuloy mukhang totoo. Ginamitan mo ng pentel pen para tuloy Gucci. Paano mo ito mariresell, girl?
Okay lang yan. It's like, a different brand na hindi nila alam.
It's like, a different brand.
It's like, a different brand. So, huwag kang mag-alala. Mamamask niya yung BO mo.
Bakit mo na? Itong air freshener, ilalagay ko dito. Bakit hindi na lang yung totoong deodorant binili mo? Akala ko ba best friend kita, Sheila?
Akala ko ba best friend kita, Sheila?
Akala ko ba best friend kita, Ma'am Sheila?
Dati yun.
Best friend na alam mo.
Dati yun.
Dati yun. Ngayon, iba na yung panahon. Kailangan nating maging wise sa mga binibenta natin online because this is online na yung yung future. So they wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know. Trust me, I'm your best friend.
Eto din ba yung
Trust me, I'm your best friend.
Trust
Me. I'm your best friend, Mom Sheila.
Okay, that was a very geometric, triangular, and confusing game. But I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. On to our next game. Our next game involves a very, very famous, very competent author, and she will be introducing herself to you during her book launch, which is tonight. Wow! And for this game, we ask you, complete the sentence, you are a woman and yet. So we will use, you are a woman and yet you have balls of steel. So let us welcome our author for tonight. Yay!
Thank you very much, Madam Gigi, for introducing me and inviting me to the Gigi Book Club. I'm very excited to present my latest book. Pero secret muna ang title. Pero huwag kayong mag-alala, bibigyan ko kayo ng konting snippet of what this book is all about. So meron kasi ditong main character na si Gigi at si Bibi. Sila ay kambal na tinadhana na magkaroon ng superpowers. Ganito ang mangyayari pag na-meet niyo silang dalawa.
Hello! Ako si Gigi. At
Hello! Ako si Bibi!
hi, Kambal.
Hi, Kambal!
Dala mo na ba yung 2 balls of steel mo?
Yes, I have them right here.
Okay. Kailangan na nating ilabas ang
ating kapangyarihan. 1, 2, 3.
ano po ang mapaglilingkod ko sa inyo?
pwede ba kaming
Humiling?
Oo naman, of course. You are my masters, my mistresses. So I will do whatever I can within my power.
ano bang gusto natin?
At ayun nga, dahil sa kanilang dual balls of steel, every time na kikis-kisin nila yun, may lalabas na genie. At yung genie yun, every time na mag-grant siya ng wish, kailangan niyang kumanta ng Blackpink song ng malakas.
Genie, I have a good wish for you. I want you to change the president of the Philippines.
Bibi, I think that is very much far ahead for now. What you can do is register to vote for now. So I cannot grant that wish. Can we proceed to maybe something that I can give? Yes, Gigi?
What if we convince more people to vote then if we can't change the president?
Okay, so that is something within my power. And with that, I will be singing Blackpink in your area.
Oh my gosh!
At ayun na nga, nakita nyo naman si Genie. Every time nga na mag-grant siya ng wish, kailangan niya kumanta ng Blackpink song. Pero isang araw, meron silang na-meet na isang mysterious na lalaki.
Bibi,
Gigi. Gigi, sino yan?
Ngayon lang ako nakakita ng ganyang species, creature.
Gigi, ang tawag yata sa kanya, lalaki.
Ano yun? Okay naman tayo sa mundo natin na tayo lang ah.
Oo nga, ikaw at ako, dalawang babae. Tapos biglang merong pumasok na lalaki. Yung mga lalaki na yun, tignan mo. Tignan mo, sa mama ka tingin.
Ang creepy. Ngayon ko lang naramdaman.
Hello,
Baka kailangan
girls.
nating tawagin si Jeannie. Creepo.
May I get your numbers?
Hey, please! Balls of steel!
Jeannie.
Yes, girls. Is there anything that I can help you with?
Jeannie? Jeannie, pwede ba yung lalaki gawin mo na lang siyang isang unicorn?
Unicorn? Ano ang ating concern sa lalaking ito?
So, syempre, hindi ko nasasabihin kung gagawin ni unicorn yung lalaki. No? Kailangan niyang bilhin yung libro ko. Ang title ay I Can Steal You. Bili na!
Yay!
That is it. Thank you everyone for watching our show. Once again, we are GG Improv. I'm Jen.
I'm Ice.
I'm Andrea.
I'm Abby.
And we hope you enjoyed the rest of Improvisation. See
Yes.
you.
Enjoy the rest of the shows. Bye.
That's right.
All right. Thank you so much, GG Improv. You know, the girl group unafraid to play with the different dynamics in gendered relations in the Philippines. And speaking of the Philippines, it's time for us to pack our bags. It's time to leave. And as a Filipino stuck in quarantine over the last 1.5 years, thank God. And we'll be traveling all the way now to Bangalore, India, to visit our next performers. Our next performers shows encompass improv, poetry, storytelling, and song. And in the name of production, this next group will also feature a live audience right in their Zoom room. They're next level so legit, they have their own clique. And now, ladies, gentlemen, and all other gender identities out there, please join me in welcoming Kavya Srinivasan and Shweta Bhatt, our performers of the Words and Feelings show.
Woo!
Oh, let's go!
Let's go! Woo!
Dear large women of the world, take up space. Isn't it odd how the larger they tell you you are, the smaller you feel? How the smaller you feel, the more visible your body seems to be, a visible target for their ridicule and for your own criticism. Sometimes it will seem like all you are in the eyes of the world is huge. So be it then. Be fucking enormous. Take up space because you are a Khaleesi who deserves 1.5 thrones. Own it. It is easier said than done, believe me, I know. But half a lifetime of hiding and shrinking and thinking about places to hide and shrink into have shown me that the only way to be me is to be fully me in all my largeness and my largesse.
Dear large women of the world, own that word. Say it with me now. Fact. For far too long, we have let this word be the invisible knife made of poisoned ice in the hands of family, friends, lovers, and strangers. Let's make it ours. And while you're at it, embrace the word and, like you would your child, your body, your neglected soul. For every, "Aw, you're not fat, you're cute," add a, "I am fat, and beautiful, and brave, and cuddly, and badass." See, we are large enough to contain multitudes. Why would you want to run away from that?
Dear large women of the world, listen to the stories your body has carried. It's been years since I've done anything just to lose weight is a sentence that is not safe for me to tell anywhere and everywhere. Because people have decided when they see me that they know the stories of my body better than I do. But people's eyes deceive them all the time. Today, maybe all people see is my back fat. But I see a spine that stood up to abusers and got me through challenges. Today, maybe all I am to some is my belly. I will remember how as a child, I ate non-stop to numb myself from dangerous feelings and what it has taken me to learn to manage my emotions like a boss. Today, maybe all I am is, all you can see is my jiggly tiger-striped thighs. But they were tree trunks holding me up so that I could reach the stars. Rejoice. You have a life. You have a body that has absorbed your trauma in the past, that is doing the best she can right now, and that will continue to give to you for as long as she can.
Dear large women of the world, lean. Take a step back from people who will crumble against their own biases, people who will sheepishly say, I love you, but towards those who will catch you when you're weak, catch you even when you feel you will squish them if they tried, who will receive their strength from you and then readily give you all of theirs. Don't worry about being too heavy, about the strain you'll be to your friends. In the end, it's all about holding each other anyway. And we will all need big containers. Find me a container bigger than my heart, I dare you. Hi, I'm Words, and this is Feelings.
Except when I'm Words, and this is Feelings. Welcome to the Words and Feelings show.
These shows are about things that we feel strongly about, and we have lots of words to say. And so today's show that we're going to be discussing is about living in our body. Now, when Shweta and I first met, we were struck by all our similarities, particularly our shared experience of being plus-size women living in Bangalore, India. And while this show is about living in our bodies, all of us live in our bodies. And so really, it's about the experience of being in your body. And what does it mean to inhabit this body?
So when we were invited to perform at the Improvisation Festival, we thought, what element of our show can be focused on? You see, our show is normally 1 hour, 15 minutes long and contains a lot of segments and elements in it. So we really wanted to focus and give light to some of the best elements in it. And while we were thinking and talking, two very special aunties came to us and they requested us to be featured in the Improvisation Festival in this show. And we really couldn't say no. Who could say no if you know those aunties, right? So we thought, why not give them the show? And they are very excited. They're performing for the very first time to an international audience. And so we want you all to really warmly and lovingly welcome and very enthusiastically welcome the Agony Aunties.
Good evening and welcome to this week's episode of the show you've been dying for, the Agony Aunties. Last week we had Pramila Auntie and Sushila Auntie help out a young woman who had a crush on her ex-boyfriend's father. Let's see what advice the aunties will dispense today. Here they are, the Agony Aunties.
Sushila?
Banda, Pramila.
This camera.
Hello. Pramila.
I have to switch on the camera. Hold on. I am. Wait. Well, just so many months have passed. We're doing the show. Still, technology means is giving problem only.
Pramila, they're waiting for us.
Oi. Sorry. Namaskara ellargu. This is, I'm so sorry to keep you waiting. As I was telling Sushila, you know what? It has been 1 year since we started, 2 years since we started. And even now we have problems switching on camera. We have to ask my son. Anyway, everybody, children, and young people, old people, everybody. Welcome. Namaskara.
I am Sushila. This is Pramila. And this is our first time doing a show with outside people. Mostly we do in Bangalore only.
Yes.
Very nice.
We give advice. We are called Agony Aunties. We have been best friends since we are young children. And we grew up together, and we did married life, and all of that was together only. And now we give advice because where we'll go, where we have to give advice only here, where we'll take it with us.
Together we have 100 years of experience in life, and we wanted to share it with you. That's
more than 100, Sushila. More than 100 years together.
120, like that.
Like that.
Yeah.
So, this it is very special occasion. First time we are doing in front of foreigners and all we are doing. So I thought I will wear my jari sari, but I did not press the sari, so it is it is coming like this. But I look good, no? So,
Pramila, you look beautiful. You look really. I can't wait for you to see you after the show. Shall we start taking some questions, Pramila?
Yes. Yes. We are here to take advice questions. So we asked, what do you want? What advice you want in the theme of living in the body? That is a theme given by those two beautiful young ladies.
Karuna and Swati.
No, Kavya and Shweta. So some answers we already have. I think some questions.
There are so many questions, but there may be some children here who also may have questions. You keep the questions. We will take 2 to 3.
Okay. Oh, we have so many. Okay. We'll go with first question. I feel somebody has asked very nice question. How I can love my body more is the question. How I can love my body. Very nice question. Alva.
Difficult. I don't feel I love my body. Like that one feeling I have. It's difficult, and I can see, when I was in my 20s, 30s and all, I used to feel I'll never love my body. Like that I used to feel.
Yeah. Even when, you remember when our wedding, my husband, we went to honeymoon to Joke Falls. Okay, in Shimoga we went to honeymoon. And, he gave me sleeveless dress to wear. That time that bobby dress. And I did not want to wear because I thought my arms were very, the sleeveless. I didn't want to wear. I feel, but my Yajmandru told, you are so beautiful. I didn't feel I was beautiful at all. I didn't think myself that way. It was very, he was thinking, why you don't look at the mirror, look at your mirror. He kept saying, I don't think I love my body. Now I feel I'm little more comfortable with my body. I feel old age, I don't know. I feel with comfortable. When I was young, not so much.
Correct, Pramila. Also this thing, sometimes other people can show you. Like your Yajman was such a nice man. My daughter-in-law is always encouraging me to try new kurtas. She's always telling Amma, you try this, try that. Sometimes other people might be able to help you, but many times you may have to do it yourself. So I have one idea, Pramila. You remember that old recipe? That recipe for how
to love your body more. Alva. We can make that.
We'll tell everybody.
Nice kashaya, Kashaya recipe. It is nice. Okay, we'll make. Okay. So now we are going to show you via recipe a kashaya of how to love yourself more, love your body. Okay. Take one mortar and one pestle. Don't take mixie and all. This mortar pestle which has been in your family for generations. Take it.
Now, inside the mortar and pestle, first thing you should put is all the beautiful things that your body can do for you. Maybe you like to dance. Put in dancing. Maybe you like to sing. Your body is singing. Maybe you like to be in the garden. Maybe you like to go walking. All these beautiful things your body can do for you, put them all big spoonfuls.
Put also some items that other people have told that it is beautiful in you, but you don't quite believe it. Put it.
Pramila, okay. Put your smile in that.
Okay. Hey, Sushila, you put your eyes, I say. Put it, I say.
Put all of these things and then begin to mix it. Nicely.
This is not easy work. When you mix by hand, you will understand that it is tough and it takes time. And sometimes you will feel like stopping and resting. But do little bit, do slowly and grind everything down.
What might come out in the side sometimes, that outside it will come sometimes. There might be some chit-chat, a negative chit-chat. It might just flow out. Wipe it off on the side. Anything that says this is how it should look, that is how it should look, all of that you remove it and throw it in the dustbin.
When you have the pudi, the powder, you put it in tumbler and you pour hot intention into it. Intention to what? To be kind to yourself. To be loving to yourself to the extent that you can. Pour hot. Nicely.
Now once the intention and the podi have become mixed up, it will turn into one beautiful blue-green color. Now when it is this color, it is ready to be stored. Because you see, this kashayam, you will need it when you least expect it. When you are looking beautiful and feeling beautiful, you won't want to take the kashayam. But the days when you are saying, oh, my hand is like this, my wrinkles are like that, that is when you have to take it from the shelf and drink it.
Remember, don't forget where you have stored it. Once it happened, I made and I stored for years and I forgot only. And then I was like, oh, look at me. One day my Yajman will remind it. Drink whenever you need. Enjoy.
I'm so happy we told the children about the kashayam. I think it was very necessary. It was necessary, Pravda.
We have some more questions. We have some questions from people in the room. Rashmi is saying, aunties, how best to burn my bras? Oh, bras. I can't believe I said that word.
I don't wear only pa.
Yo, Sushila.
What is that? No. What is that?
Oh, yeah, correct. No, but you know what? My mother, she used to scold me. I never felt like wearing when I was young. I remember she used to scold so much that in my head, one foundation of scolding is sitting. I feel like if I don't wear, my mother will come from somewhere. She's gone now, but I feel like, that in my head only my mother is sitting. That voice saying, oh, look at you, if you don't wear this undergarment, what will people say? People will be able to tell that you are not wearing. Alva, that shame thing. I feel like a lot of young girls also nowadays have that. Alva, ಏನಂತೀರಾ ನೀವು?
I think no. I think it is. I think I always have one answer, Pramila. Again and again, when these questions come, should I wear this? Should I wear that? I always think no. Should be comfortable. If you're feeling, oh, I didn't wear, then you're not comfortable. Wherever you go, whatever you're doing, you'll be thinking only one thing. I didn't wear.
Correct.
So for that, if you're feeling, wear, it's comfort. But if you're feeling, it's hurting here, it's too tight and all, leave it and go.
Or get better comfortable size.
Comfortable size, comfortable piece should be comfortable. Otherwise, why it's needed?
This child is saying burning. Child, why you want to burn your bra? It is expensive, no? Nowadays, so much money it costs you if you buy. If you are bought a bra, if you are burning it, why? What is the joy?
Don't burn it. You wear if it's comfort, you leave if it's not comfort. Burning,
give it to your sister if you have not used it, Alva.
That is the idea. Oh, Pramila, one more question has come. How should I react to people talking about how I got fatter this pandemic?
these people, no, they don't have any other better work in life. Alva?
Always they will keep talking. Everybody has something to say about how you look, you're too thin, you're too fat, you're too this, you're too that. All the time they'll say. 2 years we were at home, we couldn't go out because everybody was dying, and this is their only kelsa. Too fat you become.
But why should people, otherwise, why should people comment on people's bodies? I don't understand. So my son's girlfriend ittu college alli. Okay, she used to come home and all. I didn't tell you that time, Sushila. Too many things were happening in life. We were lost in touch also that time. This girl was a very sweet girl. Eventually, it did not happen. They broke up. It looks like long time ago. That girl was little chubby. They say no, not very like model type.
Healthy girl.
Healthy, yeah. And she used to tell auntie, these people, no, they tell me, her friends and all used to tell, if she eat one pizza slice, they used to tell, oh, Cynthia, you will eat that one pizza. Like they will say, or they will look at her like that. And she used to tell, auntie, I have not eaten anything only. Why are they saying? Why are they judging? Alva, I used to say, child, these people are useless. They don't have any other work. They are doing all sorts of things. Beda. You should not. You should not. I feel, you know what we should do? Sushila, I am getting inspired. We should sing a song to all these people who say, you are fat, now you are fat. Yeah, Alva.
I was also thinking same thing. Come on, let us sing a song. You start.
Talana. Hey, you nonsense fellow, what are you saying? Hey, you nonsense fellow, why are you commenting? You do not have any business, what are you saying? You look at own your life, I say. Hey, you nonsense fellow, what are you saying? I say,
Hey, you nonsense fellow, what are you saying? Hey, you nonsense fellow, what are you saying? Did you not hear? There's a global pandemic. You think I have better business listening to your nonsense? Hey, you nonsense fellow, what are you saying? Hey, you nonsense fellow, what are you saying?
I will try to rap now.
Rap, Pramila, go.
Listen, you nonsense person. I have looked in my own mirror and I look really gorgeous. You look at your own mirror and you look at your own life before you comment. I don't know if this is rap, but I am doing it.
It's rap only, Pramila. That's what is rap. Correct. Hey, you nonsense fellow.
Think. What are you saying?
Think like.
Child, I hope that helped you. We will take one more quick question.
Last question.
Sushila, what we will do is we can tell the advice in the game that we play, no?
Karuna and Swati's game, Alva.
Kavya and Shweta. Three words. Alva.
So you tell Pramila which question you want.
I am seeing so many are there. Wait, this. There is one Swati here. Like our Swati. Karuna and Swati. Swati is saying, aunties, how to sneak in and sneak out boo when I am dating when parents are home. First of all, boo andre? Boo.
The ghost noise, Alva. Archie's coming. It will show no boo.
Wait, she is telling she is dating, so it must be boyfriend. Boyfriend ge boo antar.
One sati it'll, and that when you are messaging, it will go no. Correct.
Alva. Okay. Here na murmur. How to sneak in and sneak out boo when I am dating when parents are at home. Yo, okay. Dear Swati child,
don't do it.
Your parents are
only worrying about you.
You. And instead,
you can try
to talk to
them first before
bringing your boo,
whatever that means,
into the house.
What are you
going to do
with the boo?
What?
Tell us clearly.
Then only we
can give good
advice. But parents
may not listen
to you ever.
Especially if you
don't tell them.
The moral of
this advice is
try to be
more open and
honest with your
parents, Swati child. Alva.
Swati child, hope that helps Swati child. You just honesty, best policy.
Just talk to your parents. Maybe they worry about you. And this boo, boo should understand, Alva. That boo, if the boo is not understanding what the boo is, Alva. So I think we have time or what is happening?
One last fast one shall we do, Pramila? I like fast this one. Are stretch marks good looking?
Aunties.
Child.
Aunties, I think it's time. I don't think we can do another one.
Okay. Listen, one line ali, stretch marks are good looking.
That's what they're very good looking. Thank you.
I like mine. I like mine, Alva.
Yeah, I also like mine.
Okay, namaskara everybody. Thank you so much for your questions, and we hope we gave good advice. We have our YouTube channel, Agony Aunties. Please follow and like and subscribe.
And in the other show, Karuna and Swati have another show.
Kavya and Shweta.
That's called Words and Feelings. That's 1 hour 15 minutes. In that also we get 20-30 minutes.
We'll get nicely, we will give advice. They'll also do some beautiful stuff. They do dancing, singing, what all they do. You come and watch, okay? You follow us. We are on Instagram and we are on Facebook, okay? Okay, ma. You play the end, I say. Song.
Play the music.
Music play madapa, child.
For being here. We are Kavya and Shweta. We hope you had fun with Pramila Auntie and Sushila Auntie. We are the Words and Feelings show. Big shout out to ImprovisAsian for having us. It's been a fantastic fest so far. Big shout out also to Faraz, who does tech for us. Arjun, who's given us the voice for our opening, our intro music.
And Mitra for the lovely poster. Thank you for everybody in the Zoom room for giving us your question, and on Facebook for your lovely question. There were too many, but we hope that we can definitely take more of your questions in our upcoming shows. Please follow us at Words and Feelings Show on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. That was the Words and Feelings Show, aka the Agony Aunties. We have a lot more for this block, but drop those hearts for the Words and Feelings Show. It's just amazing how we can integrate other forms of art and our advocacies in our craft. It's a great space to experiment and challenge. And speaking of challenge, this next performer is not new to a challenge, and they are kind of ready. Our next group is the longest running improv team from Singapore, and they pride themselves in exploring unique and experimental formats, challenging themselves during each show. Now, I wonder, what do they have in store for our festival? Now, from Singapore, everyone make some virtual noise for the Modern Schemers. Woo!
Hey, hey, hey. Ooh. Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hey, hi. We are the Modern Schemers. We're from Singapore. Thank you so much for having us. We're going to do some improv for you today. And, we were wondering what kind of improv we should do. Because we like to, do some weird stuff. So this improv show is going to be called Drawn Together. And it's a very special show because, even though we're so far apart, we can be drawn together at least using the wonderful magic of this thing called the Zoom whiteboard. So we're going to put up the Zoom whiteboard. So I hope everyone can see it. Hope everyone can see this whiteboard. Look at that. And through the power of art, we're gonna like really give you guys an amazing show. So I would like to know, what would you like to see a comic book about? So comment below with your answers. And I'm already seeing one, and it says slippers as a martial arts weapon. I see another one called The 4 Asian Horse People of the Atheist Apocalypse.
What?
Wow.
Which,
as well.
I mean, that's like, I suppose that's what we should do, right?
I think so.
Okay.
When a suggestion of that caliber comes along, you cannot ignore it.
Yeah.
Exciting. So this show is going to be called The 4 Asian Horse People of the Atheist Apocalypse. And we're going to have Nikhil and Singji. They're going to be the voices of these characters. They're going to be the voices of this comic book. And we're going to have Mo and Enhua drawing in the thing.
All right.
And finally, we're going to have Govind being the narrator of this strange, mysterious tale. So take it away, guys.
Centuries ago, all was at peace. Everyone had a religion, Christianity, Buddhism, and many others that I can't think of right now. But over time, a new movement started. Atheism? Atheism? You don't believe in God? It started to spread all over America, Africa, and then it came to Asia. Our 4 heroes start their journey in Southwest Asia. Hey.
Sup, man? Sup.
Sup, man? What's happening with you, bro?
Oh, just trying to resist stereotypes, I feel that I should be speaking in a certain accent, but this is just how it sounds like. What about you, man?
I stay away from stereotypes, bro.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm on Reddit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I don't know if you've been on Reddit recently. There's this like new thing happening, you mean
the atheist movement?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no God. I mean, that's
do you know how much time it saves me? When I finally stopped believing in God, like
wait, you've already done it?
Yeah. Wait, you mean you're not an atheist? Whoa.
I'm thinking about it. All right, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yo.
Yo. Look. All right. There's just the two of us here, but I think we should talk about our purple friend in the middle of the room. The purple friend holding the burning sword,
the golden sword. Clearly, the two of us who are talking, surrounded.
Greetings, mortals. It is I, Barney the dinosaur.
Hey, Barney. Hey, Barney. Sorry, I didn't come to church yesterday, Barney. I'm having a bit of a crisis of faith here, Barney. And I've just come to my atheist friend. I hope you don't, misunderstand where I'm coming from, Barney.
Oh, I'm a very angry dinosaur right now.
Oh, come on,
I'm
Barney.
a very angry dinosaur.
Barney. I mean, you always said, "Ooh, come to Papa. You'll be loved and you will be."
Yeah, Barney. Why are you feeling angry lately? I mean,
first of all, I don't think I say that. I feel you don't watch my show, and I'm very offended. That's not what. That's not.
All right. I mean, I do know what you say. It's like I love you, you love me. We're one big happy family. That's right,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. That is my mantra. That's my mantra.
Bunny,
That's the
come
gospel
on,
of
come on,
Bunny.
give me a hug. Give me a hug.
Okay,
Sorry. Don't bump into my tooth, man.
Okay, I'll put down my flaming sword and I'll give you a hug. Okay.
All right. Yeah, but Barney, why are you upset?
Because I hear you guys are thinking. Well, first of all, you said you're an atheist, right?
Yeah, I'm an atheist. So what's that to you?
Well, as an imaginary creature, I am. I just don't like the sound of that. I mean, not. I feel
Whoa! Hey, Barney, calm down. Just because I don't believe in one particular type of imaginary thing doesn't mean I don't believe. I believe in you. I really do. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Right. I think atheism, isn't a rejection of all things which are not scientifically proven. You're cool, man. You're Bunny. You're in my books. In fact, you're very physical. You're hugging me right now. Whoa, it's a little bit tight. I mean,
I like giving people tight hugs.
Yeah.
Bunny,
you have
Bunny,
extraordinarily long arms for a T-Rex, man.
Yeah.
But I think if your anger and your sword of Barney was targeted at me, the guy who didn't come to your last few shows at your church, just having a crisis, man. I'm having a crisis. I'm just shopping around, for other shows.
Let me bring you.
Churches.
Let me help you deal with the crisis. Follow me.
All right.
I want you to look over that horizon.
Oh, it's I don't really see it. It's this blinding whiteness. Oh,
Okay.
wait. Something's about. Yep.
Yeah. Nick, seeing that horizon out there. You know what that horizon is? It's the Netflix logo.
It's a Netflix one. Yeah.
That's the Netflix logo.
Yeah, it's a Netflix logo.
It kind of looks like a rising sun, but sure, all right. If it's the Netflix logo.
Yeah. No. It's,
all right. I see the
squint,
Netflix
man.
logo.
Look at a squint.
Yeah, I got a squint. All right.
Yeah.
I know you might not have liked. You might have found my old show boring, but Netflix is going to reboot me soon, and it's going to give you everything you've ever wanted in a religion: excitement, adventure. It's data driven. So, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Hey, Barney. The main reason why I never really got into religion and kind of became an atheist was I never felt that anyone was talking back to me. You know what I mean? When I started praying. So is that going to be addressed with your Netflix show where I finally hear the voice of Barney?
Yes. You see, now we've managed to get around privacy laws.
Okay.
And now your Netflix app will always listen to your prayers. It
Oh,
will always
wow.
be listening to you.
Oh, whoa, that's
Oh man. Hey, no wonder. I mean, I've been getting a lot of ninja samurai and ninja movies, and even Teletubbies. That was the other one. Bunny, I feel Netflix is the right place for me, maybe you will show up on Netflix one day.
I am. As I said, I'm having I'm
Yeah.
being rebooted on Netflix.
Yeah. Nikhil, listen, man.
At Z. Okay. That was the very first comic that we did here today. It's about Barney. It's about religion. As you can see, we deal with some heavy topics. So don't you agree, guys?
Yeah, if you say so. I kind of feel that we missed one of the horsemen, but yeah.
Is it trying to say that like new tech digital titans are the new religion or something? I felt like it was a very deep topic to go into.
Yeah. I think we shouldn't analyze our own scenes too much.
We go hard. We're gonna go on to our next comic right now, and this one is gonna be about Superman getting drunk.
All right.
Yeah.
Superman getting drunk.
Superman getting drunk. This is a scene for Anhua and Govin, I think. Yeah, Anhua and Govin are doing the scene, and you have Nikhil and Singji drawing.
All right.
And Mo is going to give the narration. Take it away, guys.
It's a rainy night in 90s New York. Johnny is getting a burger at his favorite
burger joint at 3 a.m. Beside him stands the specimen of mankind, of white mankind. Ooh, look at us. Look at those pecs. Ooh, look at those bars of steel. Ooh, Johnny doesn't even know what he's looking at anymore.
Sir, may I inquire, how did you get that bar of chocolate on your abs there?
What are you asking?
How did you get that bar of chocolate on your stomach?
How did I get that bar of chocolate on my stomach?
Yes, sir.
How did I get it there?
Yeah, how did you get it there?
It's an extra liver for those who are born on the planet Krypton.
Whoa.
Right? It's an extra liver.
Man, that's amazing.
Yes, that is amazing. You know what else is amazing?
What else?
Whiskey highball.
Whoa. That's a lot of alcohol right there. Yeah.
Nothing.
Can I have some?
Oh, you want to have some?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to have some alcohol?
Yeah, glug.
Oh, yeah, take it, drink it.
That hits the spot.
Yeah, drink it.
That hits the spot.
Drink it. Oh.
What's a specimen like you doing here anyway?
What's
it's
a
a dingy old fast food restaurant, and you look like I don't know, you look like a model, man.
Oh, me? I look like a model?
Yeah.
Well, I'm here because Lois Lane kicked me out of the house.
Here, drink more. Let me get you a drink.
Kicked me out of the house.
Bartender, get this man your strongest alcohol that will make him pass out. Yeah. Yeah, carry on, Superman. Yeah.
No, my friends, I don't pass out easily, you know. I've tilted the world in the opposite direction. I've forced in the opposite direction. I've defeated billionaire megalomaniacs. I don't pass out easily.
Oh, well, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So this kidney of yours, this liver of yours, is it it's detachable or?
It's another liver that processes alcohol.
Ooh,
right?
Okay. All right. It's detachable, right? I just want to make the facts clear. Detachable.
Yeah,
and it could be transplanted into somebody who can't take alcohol as much, right? Am I getting that right?
Hey, wait a minute. Hey.
It's detachable, right?
We cut to later that night.
All right, guys. This guy is a freaking detachable liver. I fact checked with him 3 times, and he avoided my question, but he told me that.
Yeah, boss.
Guys,
yeah, we're gonna get his liver. Yeah, boss.
Yeah, and think of how much money we're gonna get, right? We can upgrade from eating fast food restaurants all the time to, like, I don't know, French food.
Yeah, boss. You know, boss, you're always thinking about all these smart ideas, boss. And the last week, we tried to turn all the city's kids into clowns. Didn't work, boss. It didn't work, but I'm sure this one will make us rich, boss. Yeah.
Oh, but you got a nice smile on that face. I see you're really happy about this.
Yeah, boss. Yeah, boss. I gotta ask you this question, boss.
Yeah,
I gotta ask you this question. You know, a few weeks ago, you said that you had a great drug smuggling scheme, right?
Yeah,
so we both signed out on an employment contract, to smuggle drugs.
Yeah.
Which then turned out to be laughing gas, right?
Yep.
Turned half the city insane.
Yep.
Right. Like my family is all insane now, right? They have a permanent smile on their face, right?
Yeah, that's what happened exactly.
Yeah,
right.
and we got our ass kicked by a man dressed as a bat. Just saying that's the track record of our work so far. My spine hasn't healed, right? You understand where I'm coming from, boss?
Yes, I understand where you're coming from, but this time is different. This guy.
Okay, boss. Before that, never mind that the guy in the bat seemed to drive a tank, right?
and like threw knives. Essentially, he throws knives at people shaped like bats, right? Never mind.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
The week before, boss.
Okay,
the week before, that was the mission given to us, boss.
Yeah,
that was the mission given to us. Was that we had to sabotage a scientific experiment, right?
Yeah.
We sabotaged a scientific experiment, and suddenly, someone who can run so fast, that he travels back in time.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He went back in
He
time.
travels back in time.
Yeah.
And he killed our leader then. He killed our leader then, and he went back forward into time because he can travel so fast, right?
That's factual, yeah.
And then he kicked our ass, and we ended up all in prison, right?
Yeah.
So, boss, I gotta tell you this, boss. Like,
I am telling you.
Are you sure this guy is as exploitable as he sounds? Is what I'm saying.
Okay, the previous two, did they have more than one liver?
No. I gotta say, I didn't see a liver on the previous two guys.
This guy has two livers. Listen to me, man.
Cut to the boss's plan to ambush Superman to steal his liver.
All right. So now, just you, I'm just gonna chill here. I need you to go to him and stab him in the gut and take his liver. It's detachable.
Boss, I gotta tell you something, boss.
Yeah, what's up?
In the city of Metropolis, I may not know how to read, right? But that guy, I'm pretty sure he's Superman, boss. I'm pretty sure he's Superman. I'm telling you, he's Superman. The only thing that currently is, casting some doubt in me on whether he's Superman or not is the fact that he's drunk and he's like a hobo on the side of the street, so he may be one of those like photography people, but that's the only thing that's casting doubt in my mind.
Okay,
right?
you've seen cosplay, right? Cosplay, you've heard of that trend?
Yeah, I seen that trend. Yeah.
This is what it is.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. The real Superman will never be drunk.
Exactly.
Right?
And the real Superman does not have
wife problems.
No, I was gonna go for two livers, but that's it. Good.
We cut to the aftermath of that event.
Bosh.
All right.
Bosh.
I know. I know it didn't go as planned.
Bosh.
It didn't go as planned.
My insurance didn't cover me, boss. They called it an act of God.
And scene. Thank you. Yeah. We learned a lot. Like I think that's what's important about modern schemers shows. We always put a moral into our story.
Yeah, crime doesn't pay, guys. Crime doesn't pay.
Crime doesn't pay. Always imagine somebody out there is Superman, and you will never get into trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna move on to the next scene we're gonna do, and this one I think it's for me and Singji. Let's do the scene. Oh, wait. All right. Singji, you did the first scene, did you?
Yeah, I did the first scene.
Okay, how about me and Mo? Right?
Okay.
Me and Mo.
Sounds good.
Me and Mo gonna do the scene, and why don't Enhua and Nikhil, you draw. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. And who's left? Who wants to do narration?
I can do the narration. I'll do the narration.
Take it.
Oh, sorry. Which one are we doing?
The suggestion is gonna be Grandpa by Day, Crime Fighter by Night.
Grandpa by Day, Crime Fighter by Night. In this part of the world, people tend to look down on old men. They consign us to old folks' homes, which are ravaged by neglect and the occasional COVID outbreaks. But people think I'm just a decrepit old fool living out as a lecher, in this home for Chico packs. In truth, at night, I am a legendary crime fighter. But first, I need to get past my matron.
Excuse me, sir. Mr. Chico Peck.
Yes, Mrs. Lim.
Have you been drawing numbers on your face again?
Mrs. Lim, I do what I want. Okay, I'm my own man. I beat to my own drum.
I see. Is that so? Why have you drawn number threes as both your eyes and your mouth?
It is Rizwan from bed 6. You know, he can't sleep at night. There's a weak bladder. But I sleep like a baby. So you draw this shit on me. Because, you know.
You're saying it's out of jealousy that someone has defaced your face.
The first day here. You know, I read a book about prison. And a book about prison to tell me.
Mr. Chi, I wanna clarify, this is not a prison, this is an old folks' home.
Oh, I'm talking about my book, okay? So you listen to your elders. The book told me, when you go to prison, you need to establish your authority, okay? So how do you establish your authority? You find a toothbrush, you sharpen it on a rock, and you stare the first person you see. Many times. Many times.
Mr. Chi, I've listened to you thus far out of respect for the elderly.
So I step in front of bed 6, okay? But I'm weak. My left arm is weak.
Yes.
It trembles. So Rizwan is still alive and he now hates me. He just draws shit on my face, okay?
Mr. Lim, Mr. Chi, the second you stop talking, I'm going to have to call the police because it sounds like you confessed to a murder.
So, I mean, he didn't die, right? He threw shit on my face. Do you even know what a murder is, Mr. Lim? Do you even go to school?
There's no need for personal attacks, Mr. Chi. Listen, I'm here to help you. So just to clarify, so I understand the situation. You read in a book that to get ahead in prison, like what? First of all, what is this book called?
It's called First 50 Days in Prison.
First 50 days in prison. And so in the first 50 days in prison, the first thing you need to do is sharpen a toothbrush and stab someone.
Yes. I think it's a bit too much work for the first day, but I don't know. That's what the writer wrote. Could be a younger man.
Mr. Chi, I didn't want to have to do this, but well, follow me to the basement.
Okay.
Just walk to the basement. We can walk past. There's something I want to show you here, which I don't want you to be afraid by what you see, but I in a way I do want you to be slightly afraid.
Do you want me to tell you about all the shit I've seen in my life?
Yeah. Okay. Please. Well, why don't you tell me about the shit you've seen while we wait for us to get to the end of this hallway?
Okay, Mrs. Lim, why don't you pick an age?
Decade
of my life. I tell you the shit I saw in that.
Can I pick an exact day?
Yeah, do what you want.
3,782.
That's like what, 100 years? That's what, 10 years old when I'm 10 years old.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the worst shit I saw when I was 10 years old was PSLE.
Oh, okay. Oh, you did your PSLE. So PSLE is an exam that 12-year-old children take, right?
Yeah.
But you saw it at 10.
Yeah, smart. I'm a smart kid when I was 10. But anyway, we're at the basement and there's like limited time left.
I want to tell you something, Mr. Chi, Mr. Chi Kopek. Do you see that door to the basement?
Yes.
Behind that door, it's a very special door because behind it exist all your hopes and dreams.
At my old age, there's only darkness and tears. I have no more hopes.
All the people you've lost. All the people you've lost in your life.
So many.
All the regrets you've had.
So many.
Beyond that door, you can get them all back. You understand? Everything. Do you have a wife or a loved one who perhaps passed on, or maybe it didn't work out? Mr.
Which one?
Oh yeah, which one? All of them. I mean, all of them. Do you have like a estranged child or a paternal figure who you didn't see quite eye to eye to?
Once again, which one? As
all
I
of
said,
them.
Live through some shit.
All of them are waiting for you beyond that door.
It sounds like either you're trying to sell me insurance or trying to sell me religion. Which one is it?
I am. It is a kind of religion. Let's go through that door and we can see. Behold, Mr. Chi. This is why you need to behave yourself in this old folks' home.
It's just emptiness. There's nothing here.
Oh?
What?
Let your eyes adjust to the darkness.
My old roomy eyes. I can't see from my left eye, by the way.
Moses Lim is Tan Atik. Nicholas Tan is Ronnie.
What is this?
Lim is Tan Atik.
What is
Nicholas Tan
It's Ronnie.
Moses Lim
is Tan Atik. Nicholas Tan is Ronnie.
I know that name. I know those names. They came from my childhood days. Mrs. Lim. What is this? Is that me?
Yes.
Fat and plump and with a smile on his face.
You're just floating in space.
Father,
Truly at
Father,
peace.
tell us what happened in the southern provinces of China again, Father.
I grew pumpkins.
Oh, you grew pumpkins?
Yes.
Okay, what about these pumpkins?
They were infested with locusts every summer.
Oh, is there a moral to this story?
It could be. It could be. But with 2 minutes left, there's not enough time to tell you the moral of the story.
That's
There's
right,
always
Father.
enough time.
The
Just say
moral
it.
of the story is there's never enough time.
Exactly.
Now do you understand? Now do you understand, Mr. G?
Time, life is like a rope. I'm at the end of it.
Exactly. And scene. And scene.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Hey. So we do comedy shows, yeah.
I feel like this is too self-referential.
Yeah.
For real.
And I also feel like the matron is probably the villain, right? Like he's probably some, or he or she is probably some, like, you know, scarecrow figure or Harlequin kind of like psychologist experimenting on old people.
Yeah, man. I just deflate through the narrative.
So this room has under one roof. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
And
we have 1 minute left.
We only have 1 minute left, right? So I mean,
Okay.
yeah. So thank you everyone for having us here. We are the Modern Schemers. Thank you so much to the hosts and the organizers for putting this all together. It's amazing to do improv in this online space. It's wondrous, and I think that's all the time we have. So goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right, that was the Modern Schemers, and let's keep that modern ball rolling by dropping some emojis down in the chat, because what is more modern than emojis? And, I can't believe that in just 30 minutes we had, Jack Skellington, organ harvesting Superman, Netflix logos, but not really, and, of course, Rick and Morty's dreaded eye hole man. Now, if you like what you've been watching, whether you're just tuning in or you've been watching since day one, you can head on over to the ImprovisAsian website and check out our cool merch, join an open workshop, or even, give a tip to our tireless volunteers so they can get themselves a cup of coffee. And now, to finish up this block of improvisers, we have a group based in Bangalore and other cities in India who practice and perform playback theater. And, just like our friends from the Words and Feelings show, they'll have a live audience right in the Zoom as part of their performance. And now, we just want to pay attention to the specific group because this group in particular deals with trauma in theater. And due to the sensitive nature of their show, this full broadcast won't be up for long. We will be trimming the stream after to respect the wishes of the performers. So, given that arrangement, you know what that means? It's time to sit back, relax, and most importantly, listen to City Lamps Playback Theater. Take it away.
Hi, I know, thank you for the introduction. That is all of us, and I know possibly you're waiting for some trauma to unveil, but today is one of those days where we will hopefully be playing back the conversations that are in the room. But yes, we do have stories when we play back real life stories, which range from like, I went out and bought some bread to, hey, this is the first time I'm coming out along with strangers. So yeah, so this is these are the sort of stories we hear. But today, keeping to the fact that we are going to be playing back for 30 minutes, usually a playback show is an hour and a half. We will be playing back short forms, much like many of the shows at the festival. And I have been catching the panels and the festivals and the workshop. Today I did Oshu's Pause and Star and Thou Action, and that was beautiful. So thank you for putting this together. To be in a room full of Asian improvisers is different and it's magnificent. So thanks for giving us this 30-minute spot. And as we begin, we'll start with introducing ourselves. I'm Lakshmi, and this is the team which is going to play back for you. And right after the introduction, the rest of the folks who are on this Zoom room are going to turn their video on so that we have audience who can share their stories. So just in a minute after this introduction, we will walk on to City Lamps playback show. So take it away, friends. What does belonging mean to you?
Hi everyone, I'm Anisha, and belonging to me means connecting with another person, like heart to heart.
Hi, my name is Vinu. I feel like I belong when I'm in a space where I can cry or get angry without thinking of the repercussions.
Hi, I feel belonged when I can be present with all my quirks. I'm Geet.
Hi, I feel I belong when I'm being checked in on after a falling out. Hi, I'm Ria.
Hi, I'm Deepti.
Thank you, everybody. So you have gotten to see all of our... I feel like I'm a bit too much in the shade, so I'm going to come here even though you can see the baggage all around, but now you can see my face. I made it up for all of you, so I'm going to stand in the light. Okay, so that's our introduction, and it captures two very important part of playing back, which is real life stories. So all the things that we would play back today and any playback theater team around you would play back are all real life stories from the teller who has experienced it. And it can be impressions, it can be thoughts, it can be emotions, it can be life stories at any part from past, present, and it will be played back in the form of movement, music, poetry. Today we will hopefully see a couple of the forms that we play back through. And before we came on, we had asked for some ask for about the emotions that you folks were feeling. So just before we go into our studio Zoom audience, we would love to play back just a couple of them. So we have you have been wonderful, and you have given us many emotions that you're feeling today. Some of the ones are excited and lethargic, prolific and scandalous. So these are two maybe we will play back: excited and lethargic, and prolific and scandalous. So we will watch these from our audience in the form of fluid sculpture. Let's watch. course, those were some of your feelings from the audience played back to you. So this is how the playback series for the next half an hour-ish is going to look. And with that modeling, may I invite folks who are here to turn their video on and join us on screen, because like I was sharing, playback theater cannot happen without you. Hi! I see some faces from our own City Lamps, and the invitation is open to everybody who's probably part of the festival, who's part of this block as a performer. So you don't have to have been our invited guest, so to speak, to join us on screen. Of course, if you don't want to join on screen, but you'd like to share on sound, on verbally, that's fine too. You can unmute yourself and tell us. All right, so for everybody in the room, I have a question. We saw some feelings about how everybody's feeling today, and we heard about what belongingness means to us. If belongingness was an object, what object would that be for you? And as our friends are thinking, feel free on Facebook to put it in comments. We will look at it after our show is over, because I know I was doing that right before this. So feel free to share on. Yeah, Rush, please.
Little notes, handwritten notes.
That's what belongingness would feel like. And when you find one, maybe expected or unexpected one, how do you feel?
Belonged, cherished, thought of, and very, very special.
Yeah. Thanks, Rush. And the words "let's watch" will be our signal to go off screen, except for the performers, so we can have an optimal view. So this is for Rush. Little notes makes her feel cherished. Let's watch. As fluid sculpture.
That is for me? That is for me?
I thought of you.
That is for me? That is for me?
I thought
That for me?
Thank you, performers. That felt like glowing and that felt like warm. Rashmi, did you see your feeling of being belonged to? Yeah. Thank you for being our first teller, Rash. Everybody can come back on and feel free to share on audio. So we heard some bits about what belonging feels like. And I feel like part of the conversations we are having through ImprovisAsian Festival is about learning and doing a form of theater, which we make our own in different ways, but also the models of which we once and again see in maybe perhaps people who don't look like us, and maybe our teachers who don't perhaps have the culture that we come from. Has there been an experience in the space of playback theater or improv where you felt like, I'm not sure I belong? And you don't need to take names. You can always, of course, use made up names. Was there an incidence of not feeling very belonged?
I have one.
Yeah, go on.
It was about this team, this improv team, and I did shows with them, and I just did not feel belonged because I kind of the energies were very different. It was more like there's something about the energy. The vibe was just very different. Like the language spoken was just not what I am used to. So, I mean, in the real world, it's fine. But when you're doing improv, you have that contract among yourself that, between you and your co-actors that, okay, we are not going to don't make others feel uncomfortable. And as an improvised actor myself, I don't do that, at least intentionally or whatever.
Like a contract of respect.
Yeah. So there was this one team that I just did not enjoy.
Yeah. And if I may ask, what did you do? If you did anything at all?
I did I did show with them. I don't want to name them.
Yeah, sure. No, you shouldn't. You don't have to. But I meant like after feeling uncomfortable, did you speak to somebody? Did you leave or?
No, I didn't. I just spoke to another person casually who was not from the team. I didn't speak to the team because I felt like it was of no use. I really felt it is of no use. I should have spoken, but at that moment I felt like no.
You do you. I mean, it's also a question of safety and a question of are we ready to talk about it, and you took care of yourself.
Are we ready to talk about it? In fact, yes, I felt that a lot actually.
Thank you, Veens. We will take Veena's experience of feeling not quite vibing in the form of musical fluid. I'm not ready to speak. This doesn't feel like my place. Let's watch.
તમે જો બોલો છો એ મને સમજ નથી આવતું. I can't understand what you're saying. But can I tell you that?
Thank you, performers. And Veena, did you glance, you taking care of yourself and the space?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, sure. I did a lot. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Veens. And everybody can come back, and I'm going to ask a question, and I'm going to throw it open to folks who we haven't heard from, but I also know we are quite limited in number. So if anybody from the IAF team wants to share, consider this my open invitation for the same. Is there a moment in improv or playback or in life where you spoke up and you were glad you did? It might have panned out either way, but you were glad you spoke up.
Hi. Can I just be on audio? Is that fine?
Yes, that's absolutely okay.
All right.
Could I know your name or maybe like a initial? Because it
Just
says
Tabs is fine. Thank you.
Tabs. Yeah, cool.
All right.
Tabs, would you like to tell us?
Yeah. So I come from a very conservative Catholic high school in the Philippines. So of course, a lot of that comes with a lot of like regressive ideas on rights. And I think in particular at the time when I was in high school, there was a big issue nationally about reproductive health and the reproductive health bill or law right now in the Philippines. And we were talking about it in religion class, and I was glad to be one of the people to really speak up about why it was important to have reproductive health, especially for minors in the Philippines who undergo teenage pregnancy because they don't have that, ability to learn about reproductive health, much less access it. And even though it was a Christian school, there's a lot of I don't like groupthink mentality behind that. And even though it wasn't easy,
Yeah,
I was glad
I'm
that I
sure.
did it.
Yeah, and after, could you tell me, was there fear just before you're sharing a little bit of tentativeness, perhaps because of the solidness of the structure in which you are, in the form of the
Yeah.
school and the society?
Yeah, there was a fear in it, mostly because I felt as if I was one of the, or if I wasn't the only, then I was one of the only people left in the school who would think that way. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it sounds like after you had shared, however, there was a sense of, I'm glad I did it because somebody had to do it. We can't pretend like this is not something which needs to be said.
Exactly.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tabs. We will take Tabs' story about speaking up at a moment when everybody else perhaps wasn't and the system was not making space for it. In the way of three-part stories, we'll see Tabs, we'll see the institution, and we'll see another important element. Let's watch for Tabs.
You are banned. You are banned from speaking, from thinking, from being seen. You are banned. Do not think. Do not express. Stay where you are.
And that moment where you can choose, not really conducive, but it's here and it's gone, Tabs. Now or never.
I'm so glad I spoke up.
Thank you, performers. Beautiful hand compositions and important stories. Tabs, did you experience parts of your story of speaking up?
Whoa, that was very visceral. Oops, sorry,
It
there's a car.
was.
Wow.
Yeah, I felt it too.
Thank you.
A
Thank you for
little
playing that
back.
back.
Yeah. Sorry, Tabs, could you say that again?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, thank you for playing that back. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a little anecdote. Ria and I were also part of a Catholic institution where we spoke up. Ria ended up suspended and I ended up guilty and crying for the rights of us as students. So it's viscerally hit me too. So thank you. I think I wouldn't be wrong in saying Ria was, they were taking some experiences from this institution we were part of, which is Christ University, by the way. We hate you. All right. So just to close up our session, I know we have probably 7 to 8 minutes left, and I would love for everybody to perhaps type in a story that came up for you about speaking up, about being an Asian improviser or not, about not having been able to speak up, about belonging. As titles, perhaps you can unmute yourself and say it, or you can put it in the chat. If you could share the titles of stories that came up for you. Stories of belonging or not belonging. What makes us belonging? Stories of having spoken up, stories of not having spoken up because that was not the time yet, or that was not the space yet. Stories of belonging to a person, to a space, to people, to ourselves. Oh my God, can we have more of that? Belonging to ourselves. Lovely. So we have a couple of responses, and some of them are, I listened to music, waking up in the chat. Some in our DMs are the third culture children, those who are caught in two worlds. So we'll go one by one. I will say it out loud to you and we can see them in flares. All right, so the first one for us, I'll just go off camera, is third culture children, those who are caught between two worlds. Let's watch. Unspoken words. Spaces, movement, and the shift. Spaces, movement, and the shift. An unexpected ally, kindness in establishing boundaries. An unexpected ally, somebody who stood up by me when I didn't expect it. Can I make myself belong, or do I give other people the power to make me feel belonged? Is it my agency, or does somebody else have to do it? Who decides if I belong? Let's watch.
I'm here to stay.
And the last one for now, struggling between the curtains. Struggling between the curtains. Thank you, performers. And I think we have around 2 to 3 minutes left. That was our show for you. I think it will stay on till maybe a week. I would love for us to just go around and thank you for your time on Facebook. Thank you for your time on Zoom. I'm Lakshmi, and what I'm taking back is the sense of more Asians in the room. On to Deepti.
I am taking back, I think, the pleasure of hearing hearing Tab's story. I think it resonated with me too. Yeah, and I tag Ria.
I am taking away performing for an audience on Facebook that I haven't seen yet, and that was brave for me. And I tag Vinu.
I am taking away that many people are unsettled enough to want to speak, even if they do or don't. And I pass it to Anisha.
I am taking back to take my seat at the table. And I pass it to Geet.
I am taking back the fact that all of us have a space in the room, in the world, and we are all trying to find ours.
Yeah, oh, what an absolutely incredible space to stop. We're all trying to find our space in the world, and we have a little digital space as City Lamps on Instagram and Facebook. We are called City Lamps Playback Theatre. We are on a break till mid-October, but you will find us if you want to ask anything or ping any of us. You must know one of us probably, so you can always leave a message on the inbox. We do jams, we do readings starting October, November. We would absolutely love to have more of us in the room, and most importantly, even if you don't write to us, find a playback company close to you, be their patron, attend their jams, watch their shows. Maybe you want to try out playback. Do look for real life stories being played back around you and share more, and onwards with the exploration of finding the space for ourselves. So thank you everybody. Thank you everybody on Zoom chat, and thank you everybody on Facebook for sharing. Bye for now. See you soon. We also do shows, so come catch us there. Bye. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Were you all watching that? Were you watching that, MJ?
I was deeply moved. That was beautiful.
That was amazing.
And you were amazing, Tabs.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You were amazing. You participated and just became honest in yourself. And that's what improv is.
You know, it's the improv spirit of yes ending. And, you know, it was such a safe space because of all the performers and, you know, everyone else in the audience. I didn't mind sharing that. And, you know, it turned out amazing.
Yeah, and the audience agrees. Everyone was just moved by City Lamps Playback Theatre. So again, give your drop those hearts, those care reacts for City Lamps Playback Theatre, and we are done with Block 4. Thank you so much again to our performers, GG Improv, The Words and Feelings Show, Modern Schemers, and again, City Lamps Playback Theatre. Go ahead and support them in their socials. Go follow them and support them and show them more love. Yeah.
Right. And just as a reminder, like what Lakshmi just said, this video will stay up for about like 1 more week. So make sure that if you want to watch it again, you want to experience all those feelings 1 more time or 3 or 10 more times, up to you. Just remember that it'll only be here for a little while. And with that, there will be a new link for the next block, for block 5. But don't exit out just yet because we will be having... Day 2 is not yet over. Yeah, Day 2 is way not yet over.
It's just the block that's over.
Yeah, it's just the block that's over. We still have our other performers coming up. We have PPT KTV and Funnylicious Improv Theater. So please stand by for a new stream starting soon.
Yeah, and remember again to check out our available workshops at ImprovisAsianFestival.com and show your thanks to our prod team by giving them a coffee at coffee.com/improvisationfestival.
All right. So, you know, before the link comes up, you know, maybe take this time to stretch, go to the restroom, grab a snack or whatnot, because, you know, when you come back, we've got more improv right here at Improvisation Festival.
Yes, it's been an honor hosting this vlog. I am MJ.
I'm Tabs.
And thank you for watching. Wait for the new stream.